What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another Sunday Live. Now, before we get too much into it, if I may first get a thumbs up in the chat so I can see that you guys could see and hear me okay. And then we'll get on with the show. We have a very spicy one for you guys tonight, but in a positive good way. So, all right, let's see. Now, for those of you that aren't new here, Pull My Gig, appreciate you. My name is Pedro Doordash Santiago. You can call me Mr.BetonYou, whatever you want to call me. It's all good. Now, we talk about betting on you, setting goals, doing one day at a time on this channel. For all of you that are here, you know that already, right? But for anybody that's new, a lot of people come here new to this channel. We go live every Sunday. We talk about gig economy topics. The StreamYard link will be shared. You can come in, talk about the topic, share stories, add motivation, add some value for the community. Now, wow. I'm not really sure what went wrong here, but I'm going to be very transparent. A lot's happened in the last, I guess 2 weeks ago. We had Richard from Sensei Deliveries on talking about Top Dasher versus Cherry Picker. I thought we had an actually really amazing conversation. We had moments where we disagree, but it was very respectful. It was candid. He shared some knowledge with the community, and it's been a wildfire ever since, right? So when I had him on, I knew that it was going to be a different perspective. I wanted to hear him out, and I did a lot of listening. If you watch back on that video, I listened a lot. He talked more than I did, and I wanted that. I wanted to understand where he's coming from, because top dashers do universally in this community get ripped apart. They just do, right? And what I've learned is this is the biggest takeaway I'll take, because other things have happened since that. A lot of content creators talking about it. Some people trying it out, which I think is fantastic. I love it, because we don't know until you try it, right? But also, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I make decent money where I'm at, so there's no benefit for me to do it besides maybe offering you guys entertainment and value and benefit and doing my own market research, right? But this is one thing I want to start today's live off with. I'll be in the chat in a minute. I'll provide the StreamYard link. Stay with me. Just give me a minute. I know I get rambly, but I'm not going to be that long. The one thing I've learned in doing, I've had YouTube for a year and a half now. It was March of 2020. And I've been full-time gig work since January of 2020, right? So going on 2 years, I guess, almost. I don't know. The one thing I've learned from watching other content creators, myself, the nonsense that I've spewed, the mistakes I've made, the good things I've done, the things you guys have shown me that I've helped you with, and many other really great content creators have helped you with along the way, is that, in my opinion, everything now to this point is market specific to me. And that's such a cliche thing to say. We all throw that word around the same way we throw around freedom and flexibility, right? Every market's different, man. Rural, city. I mean, how much you have to drive, how densely populated it is. You don't have to drive a lot, right? I could choose, actually, all my orders could probably be under $3 or 3 miles if I just did downtown St. Louis. Every single one of them. If I just picked them correctly, I could keep my miles really low, right? But everything is market specific, and everybody has a perspective. Not any of us are right. We all have perspective. It's all a matter of opinion. Sometimes we're guessing. Sometimes we do something for a few days and we think we figured it out. Sometimes I spew nonsense and I'm like, well, this and that and da-da-da, and clowns do that. I'm going to stop all that, because it does nobody any good. And at the end of the day, I feel like some of us are just in a big pissing contest. I'm not in the pissing contest. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't think I know much besides what I've already shared with the tens of thousands of people that I've helped. And that is, I know how to find hidden tips. I've got 1,000 videos about it, blah, blah, blah. It's very easy. I've shown you guys that. Thousands of people have said and thanked me for that. And I teach people how to make profit. I teach people how to unassign bad orders. The other day, I had a stack, $11, Papa John's. One of them was for $3. I dropped it. 30 seconds later, they sent me a $7 order from Papa John's. So I made extra, and that was a hidden tip. So I made extra $8 on that, because I had the knowledge and the wherewithal, and because I know my market, to drop that order. Some people would just keep it because it was good at face value. I want the most profits. I want to make the most money. And I've helped tens of thousands of people to do that. And I feel good about that. but I don't know anything. I'm going to stop acting and being so cocky that I do. And I'm going to stop caring as much about what other people do, because that's your market. And if it works for you, high five, you're making more money. If Top Dasher works for you and you try it, great. Thousands of people tell me they've done it. You can look at my comment section, and now they're more selective and they're no tip, no trip, or they're cherry picking, and they're making more money. We have to salute that. And for all the drivers out there that are making more with Top Dasher, if you're really making more profits, not money, profits, because we'll get into that later, I cheer you. It's awesome, because at the end of the day, this channel is about betting on you, setting goals, and doing it one day at a time. I live that every day like nobody else. That's me. You guys know that. Been very consistent with that. And the only way I can do that and do the things I'm doing and do videos every day and dash less every single month, basically, is because I'm betting on myself. And I figured out my market. Figure out yours. That's it. No tip, no trip can actually coincide with Top Dasher. Because I think some Top Dashers, the good ones from what I'm learning, because there's levels to it, I think, right? Some Top Dashers take everything. They don't care. Boom. Some can be selective, know when to be selective, and they don't take as many non-tip orders as maybe some of us cherry pickers might think. At the end of the day, this is my message, and I'll get into the live chat and bring some people in and talk about some topics. I don't think any of us know anything. We're going up against $1 billion corporation. The algorithm is probably, in my opinion, ever changing and flowing. And the Top Dasher program could have been different last year than it is now. Make the best decisions you can, but think about your profits along the way. Because if you are a Top Dasher and you're driving more miles than I am, and we make the same money, I actually made more money. Let me say that one more time. If we both make $1,000 in a week, regardless of whatever, but if I drove less miles, I used less gas. And if I took less orders, I had less wear and tear on my body and my mind. I made more profits. But if the Top Dasher makes the same as me and drove less, he made more profits, more money. Then he had the better week, right? At the end of the day, do what you got to do. Just be knowledgeable. Know when you could drop something. Know when to do this. Know when to spot a hidden tip. Make good decisions. Make your money. But I'm not going to come on YouTube and say that I know. I'm going to act. Maybe it's the way I convey it. I'm going to allow people, like, I have to be better able to just say, hey, they're making money, they're happy, leave them alone. But to everybody else, I'll continue to talk about profitability, betting on you. I still, to this day, unless somebody is a third party, and I got this from somebody else, and I thought it was one of the smartest things I've heard in the last couple of weeks. The only way I could say that I would believe somebody would be as a third party did their own independent studies and dissected hundreds of thousands of orders. At the end of the day, there's a lot of speculation, this and that. It's ever flowing. We have to have customers ordering things. I don't believe that the companies cap you. I just don't believe it. Just don't believe it. Because when I first started doing DoorDash, I was making less. You get smarter. You learn your market. You make more. I think most people can make 20, 25 bucks an hour in most markets. Some of you might be 15. It's all market dependent. But if you want to make profits and actually make money, in my opinion, you got to get to 25 and beyond. You got to get to 30 on average. And I think that good drivers can do that. And I think it's going to be really hard to do that if you take too many $2, $3 orders. That's all I got. Listen, I love this community. I've learned a lot, made a lot of mistakes. I talk nonsense more than anybody. I got more videos than anybody. But at the end of the day, just do what you got to do. Make your money. And hopefully the algorithm gets better for you in your market. All right. So that's the topic of the day. Let me run down the topics for you guys real quick. I'm going to put the StreamYard link in right now. I would love for anybody to hop in, share your thoughts about what's going on. Top Dasher, are you going to do it? Are you not going to do it? And I knew this was coming. I knew people were going to start talking about it. And I don't know what I started here, but I think it's good. I think at the end of the day, this is going to be a positive. While I might not feel that way now because there's a lot of back and forth, it will be positive at the end of the day, because some people will try something and they'll make more money. Some will try it and make less money, but then also realize, okay, well, then I prove myself right, I'm going to continue being a cherry picker. And some will say, hold up, my market for Top Dasher could be good. There's too many variables for anybody to think that they figured everything out. I don't, and I don't think anybody else does. I have no idea what I'm doing half the time out here. It's pick up, drop off. This is easy, right? I think most of you guys watch because it's relatable content. I have humility. I can make a fool of myself. I rant and rave. Half you guys watch to see what I'm going to say stupid next. The other half watch because you like me. Point blank, period. I can't be any raw or realer than that, right? And I'm going to continue to be myself, but I don't know what I'm doing out here, y'all. I've shown you everything I can show you. The algorithm is what it is. So let me share this StreamYard link. Anybody can come in. We can have a conversation. I'm going to share the topics in a moment. And I'm going to get right into some shout outs because I rambled already for a little bit. Okay, so there's the StreamYard link. What's up, Flex? Joe, what up? Hey, Joe, I want to get with you. Hit me on the text line. I got this virtual conference that we're doing. For those of you who don't know, we're doing a virtual conference October 22nd. I need Joe's help with a song, so hit me up. Rodney, what up? Dan, what up? John, what up? Flex, Dasher Poppy, Scott, Dasher Die, what up? What up? Bud Soda, Millie. I see John D. Rocky, Christy, Krista Ray, Doordash Rick, what up, Rick? Daniel Hustle, Scott. All right, a lot of familiar faces. Paveway, what up? What up? What up? Odeka, what up? Nova, what up? Holly, what up? Yo, Malone, yo. So I'm going to try to actively, so I got the StreamYard link in. I want to let a few people give you guys some time. Let me share these topics with you guys real quick, okay? So the topics tonight. Who is right? Do we have to be right? I don't think, does it matter? I don't want to be in a pissing contest anymore with anybody. I just don't. Whether it's with Richard or this or that, and me and him had a great conversation. Whether it's with this person over there, this person over there, like, it's all good. Let's all make money. We all have channels. Let's help each other make money. That's what we should be doing, right? And I got to do a better job of that because at the end of the day, maybe it's my fault. Maybe I'm the guy in the middle stirring the pot. I had Richard on. It was a positive conversation. Me and him have had dialogue after, and it's been nothing but positive. No shade. So, but I definitely recognize there's a little bit of craziness going on, right? And I think everybody wants to be right or prove somebody wrong. I mean, I want to be right. Who doesn't want to be right about something? When you have a hypothesis, when you have an educated guess, when you feel really strong about your opinion and your market because you're making good money and you want to make sure other people make good money. I think all content creators relate. We want to help, right? But none of us know the algorithm. So, but who's right? Top Dasher cherry picker? Who do you think? We're going to talk about profits next month with Richard on this show. He said he'd come back. What do you think is going to happen? Can drivers crack the algorithm? Can we crack the algorithm? I don't know. My opinion, I'm just one man. No, I don't think we can. I think we can momentarily, and then they'll change it. Look at Para. Para got in, helping stuff. Look what Doordash did, right? So, yeah, you could figure out ways, but I don't think any of us are really going to sustainably understand it, right? And then does DoorDash cap earnings? I don't know. I think they give us. I think there's a lot of coincidences. I think there's a lot of like normalities based on demographics and stuff. But yeah, if I took every order in my market tomorrow, I could make $20 an hour. But why would I do that when I can make 30? So they're not capping me. But this is all matter of opinion, guys, right? And there's videos, to back up any type of opinion. We could each dig up, there's videos out there for everybody to enjoy and get entertainment. And I love YouTube. I said it in the video the other day. I love YouTube. I learn a lot of what I learn right now is either from YouTube or a close confidant or friend of mine that I can get knowledge from. I love it. It's free. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. I see a few people waiting in the break room there. Let me continue to stay in the live chat with you guys and just see who we got. What up, Hannah Bull? We got Brandon. Mama says happiness is from magic, rays of sunshine that come down when you're feeling blue. What up, Rick? What up, Ron? What up, Payway? J. Dan, let's pay DoorDash. Best Saturday ever yesterday. I hit $40 an hour for 5 hours straight, baby. Nice. We just got to enjoy those times, right? I love that. Jonathan, what up? Before expenses, you can cherry pick for 30 plus an hour before fuel expenses. But when you factor in that fuel, the potential tax liability and the vehicle maintenance is ugly. Yeah, it can be. And it's lately I've been talking about, I'm never wrong, Pedro says John D. Rocky. Listen, I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot. right? And what's fun is I'm one of the very few people that come on here you guys see my face every day for a year and a half. I've missed one day in a year and a half where you guys didn't see my face. I'm on other channels too. It's annoying, right? So I get it. I get how I come off sometimes, but I show you guys everything, the real, every day. No, every day. Nobody else has done it for a year and a half. Nobody has. That's still driving. Nobody. So I'm gonna piss some people off. It's good though. I'm a human being. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. All right. Let's see. So let me put in paste it one more time right there. Can I pin that? How do I pin that? Oh, pin message. Boom. There you go. Okay, message pin. Thank you, Flex, for that suggestion. I don't think I've ever done it before. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. I think we might want to have some people in here. I'm going to bring one at a time for now. I see we have Bud Soda, we have Dave, we have Kathy. I don't think Kathy's been on the show, so that's exciting. And we have my man, Mad Dash. So before I bring anybody in, make sure you're ready. The sound is good. You're not distracted. If you're in the zone that doesn't have good service, try to get in a spot where you do so that, we can hear each other clearly. I'm going to bring in Bud Soda first. Bud Soda, we got 5 minutes, me and you, and I'm going to go on to the next one. I want to hear from you. What do you think about the topics tonight? Do you think, why does somebody have to be right? Is somebody right? Does it even matter? Is it a big deal? What do you say to that? I'm going to bring Bud Soda in. I got to get my headphones on real quick. We appreciate everybody being here. Hit the thumbs up for your boy. Listen, this might be a marathon tonight. I might do a long live because I got nothing to do tomorrow besides work, and I can work whenever I want. That's the freedom and flexibility, right? So we might just go all night tonight, y'all. I might go to the morning. I don't know. If there's people watching, I might just keep it on all night. I got a lot of energy. I got a lot I want to talk about, and I want to hear from you guys because I don't think any one person's right. None of us. And if you think you're right, come in. Let's talk about it. How can we be? I don't know, right? I just don't. I don't get it. Okay, so let's bring Bud Soda in real quick. Bud Soda, what's up, man?
What's up? So I don't think anyone necessarily is right or wrong. We all have opinions, but I do feel people use things as crutches. My market's slow, so I can't make my money, or I need Top Dasher just for that. When maybe that's not the thing hitting your market. Maybe Spark's hitting in your market. Maybe the grocery apps are hitting in your market. You just don't like shopping, but you have to adapt and overcome. Like you used to really despise shopping, now it's one of your big mains. So you gotta adjust and adapt with it. And a lot of people don't like to work outside their comfort zone. Like let's just say Webster Grows is really slow. You'll go to U City or you'll go downtown. You can overcome and adapt. It's everyone's area is a little different. I feel it's really select where Top Dasher works really well. Like I know Let's Play Doordash is a Top Dasher and it works really well for him as he he just said $40 an hour for 5 hours. He's really busy that one day. He's like most people I know of that go for Top Dasher. They just grind at the end of the month, but the rest of the month they're cherry pickers like the rest of us. I really feel that overly bashing people for how they work or how they're trying to adapt and make their money is not very fair. Like personally, me, like a lot of people.
I agree with that, and I agree with that, and I've done some of that. I've called people clowns, and you shouldn't do. I've done it. I realize I'm part of the issue. I get it. My hands up high, but at the end of the day, also we shouldn't. I still believe in no tip, no trip. I do. It is what it is. I think it should be protected. I think we should not be delivering for a company that wants to pay you $3. But we also I got to do a better job of allowing and leading because I'm one of the many awesome, I think, leaders in the community. You have a channel, people come on, you look forward to watching, whether it's me or whoever else. And we got to do a better job or I have to do a better job of just letting people do what they want. And not, who cares? You want to take a $3 order, take it. You know what I'm saying? I guess I have to just realize some people are just like, hey, I just want to make $12 this hour. And I guess that has to be fine, right?
I think it's a poor business decision on people's part. Why would you do that when you could be doing something better?
Sure.
But you've been waiting 5 minutes, or you want to sign a $3 and you get a $7 turns to 8. So even if it didn't turn to 8, you still did better. So okay, you want to say about the tip thing? I did a $26 no tip shopping order the other day. for Spark.
Yeah.
6 items. It was super easy. Yeah, it went like 7.5 miles away, but it was easy and quick. And I grabbed something going on the way there. And if people want to say that's wrong, well, so be it.
Got it. So let me ask you one more question before I'm going to take the next one. I got a lot of people waiting. What do you think's going to happen in September, October, when we have content creators saying, I went for Top Dasher. This is my experience. What do you think's going to happen with that?
I think the majority aren't going to see a huge difference. A couple have done it before and didn't see that much of a difference. So a few are going for the 100% to see if it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
But for me, if you're in a busy market to begin with, if it's really busy out, they're going to keep you busy. And JDM, I disagree. You should definitely do red cards.
Yeah, I recommend them. I think it's like I was saying in the beginning. Everybody's market's different. I think we have to take personal responsibility and say, okay, I'm going to digest this information from these people that have been doing it for a while, right? Pedro's been doing it for 2 years, but Soda 5 or 6, or this person 7, this person 10, this person a year, but they've done it 5 or 7 days a week for a year, so they're at like 8,000 deliveries. You have to digest it all and say, okay, well, what's going to work for me? Okay, I got to go out and be willing to make some mistakes, take some calculated risks, learn my market. Do I like red cards? Do I not? Do I like McDonald's? Do I like Wendy's? Do I not? Do I like to multi-app and just take the best offer? Is Instacart good? Is it not? Does Roadie work? Only you can answer that. So I think we have to take more personal responsibility and say, I'm just got to do what I gotta. This is my number. And if I could make a couple of extra dollars more per hour than I did last month, great. I think we should all be kind of trending upwards every few months, and then you'll plateau because your market can only sustain so much, but you got to find out what that plateau is, right? So cool. Hey, man, are you off tonight? You're not working?
No, I'm not working at the moment, but I really feel that everyone should at least expand within a half hour outside their immediate area and learn that area. So if your inner area is slow, you can go out and make some money and have multiple apps you could just turn on and work your way around. Like the shopping apps like Instacart are very versatile and you can go almost anywhere.
Yeah, I hear that. Hey man, enjoy your night tonight, man. I'm glad to see you laying up a little bit. Watch a good movie or some YouTube or whatever, and take it easy, man. Are you gonna get back to work tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna go out in the early morning because weekdays it seems early morning spark's been hitting, so I'm gonna try to change it up a little and see what it does.
Cool.
Got you guys.
What's that?
You guys take care. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, appreciate you, bud. All right, so we have, let me see here. Let me get my bearings together. Oh, hold on. So we have Dave, Kathy, Mad Dash, Thomas, and KF. So I'm going to bring in Dave and Kathy at the same time, and then we're going to bring Mad Dash in. Him and I are going to have a convo, and then I'll bring in Thomas and KF at the same time. So that's going to be the shake up right there. So let's see. We got the adventures. How do you know? Let me answer this real quick. How do you know if a no-tip order? I just started this past week and trying to learn. Great question. In the chat, go ahead and help Victoria. You never know 100%. Okay. But do some orders and see what your local base pay starts out. So after you complete some trips, your base pay from DoorDash, after you complete it, it'll tell you base pay, customer tip, or if there's a peak pay. Look at that base pay number. And most of the time it's going to be between $2.25 and $3, right? So that's going to be where you want to start. So if you see orders that are $2, $3, $3.50, probably not a tip on there. Sometimes if it's $4 or $5 and it's a lot of miles, probably not a tip. It's not 100% though. It's no science, but you'll get the feel for it. But you have to figure that out for yourself though. But that's the best I can kind of say it. Appreciate the question. Appreciate you coming in. Good. A lot of really smart people in the chat. So if you got questions, Victoria, you can ask them and they'll definitely be able to help you out a little bit. So let's bring Dave and Kathy.
What up?
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right, cool. Nice to have you guys on the show. Appreciate you guys coming in. What do you think about the topics tonight?
Anyone?
I'll start with you, Dave. Go ahead.
Well, I think lately this whole week and last couple of weeks since this whole thing with the Top Dasher started, it's been kind of a mess. And
yeah.
And I'm gonna side with your opinion where you said nobody knows anything really, and everybody's just kind of speculating here and trying to kind of figure out, kind of like the market's been pretty slow everywhere lately. So everyone's kind of just scratching their heads, trying to get the edge on everything. And I feel that that's kind of what's really been going on lately, and where people have been looking a little more into that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think there's some speculation, there's some education, because a lot of us have been doing this for a while, and you learn your market really well, and you feel like, I know it, I got it, right? And I'm hearing and it makes sense to feel that, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think we have to understand we're battling a $1 billion company with the algorithm. It could change every day. I don't know. I have no idea. Right. But
Right.
it's definitely fun to talk about. But I've noticed it where you're noticing people are trying to get the next leg up. Like, all right, what's the next thing? Like, how do I prove my point? I've been guilty of that. Right. How do I prove my point? How do I prove my point? Right. It's an agenda kind of deal. And I think it's kind of like getting to the point where now it's like, do we really know? Does Pedro really know? No, I don't. I have no idea. Kathy, what do you say?
I've been on before.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Maybe it's been a while.
You got a
Sorry.
lot of people. Yeah, I was one that had car problems way back when.
Okay,
Anyway,
yes, okay.
So what I was going to say is I'm only doing Spark now. And one of the things, I don't know if anybody's been watching the news lately, but DoorDash just lost the contract with Walmart in 30 days.
I heard that.
So I think for Dashers itself, I think it's going to be a little hard, because I know during like the holidays, those .com orders, those were, big things, and I don't know what's going to happen. I kind of think with DoorDash and a lot of aspects, because of all the hurt that they've had over the last few months since the beginning of the year, I think they're going to start losing a lot of contracts with a lot of big players. And that's gonna hurt everybody. And again, the idea is to be looking out, that can't be your bread and butter. You've got to look for something else. Again, market, we all talk about that, but it's true. Whatever the market's going to be. For me in my area, I'm not going to work 8 hours a day just to come home with $100. I can go get a job, or a W-2 job somewhere. I'm working, maybe 5 hours. And if I'm lucky, a good day is almost 200 with Spark. So, I'm pretty happy. I took the day off today because I pulled my back out with those 40 case waters. So I'm trying to get on the mend with that. But other than that, again, it's about just keeping up with what's going on in your area.
That's a great point. What do you think? I'll ask you this, Kathy, then Dave, if you could chime in. So I heard about that a couple of days ago. It was announced. I heard some people talking about it. I've done some DoorDash Walmarts. I wasn't a big fan of them. I tried them. I've done a few ones that were good, a few that were really bad. For me in my market, too long lines, too many issues at the particular Walmarts. Just wasn't, the pay sometimes wasn't great, or if it was too many drop-offs, just too many miles. I just wasn't for me to be efficient and profitable. But do you think that in some markets this is going to hurt some drivers that really like those orders? What do you think about that, Kathy?
Well, here's the thing. My friend still does DoorDash, and one day we were looking at orders. I was on Spark. She was doing DoorDash, and I said, "Oh, I'm not going to take that order." She wound up taking it, and there was a difference of $10. So DoorDash is not paying out as much for Walmart orders as those that are actually currently working Spark. So that's kind of like questionable there, you know what I'm saying? And maybe it's DoorDash is keeping that extra money because, again, it's like a third, fourth party situation at this time. So they're getting extra money and taking away from the driver. So, it's kind of hard to say. There is a game. There definitely is a game, and we're all trying to figure it out sometimes. But it was funny that we received an email the day before in regards to Spark, and it was about DDI driver type of situation.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, are you doing Spark now?
No, I signed up. They told me I was approved. I could never get in. And then I re-signed up and in a different like zone or territory. And then now they told me I'm on a waiting list. So I'm definitely going to try it when that waiting list is pulled.
Some of the waiting lists, believe it or not, are long for some people. I would say wait it out. It is going to be worth it. And I think with everything happening in the next 30 days, basically Walmart wants to take everything back. They want to keep it in-house at this point. Yeah. They are actually had bought out the thing, like DDI is still going to be like our accounting service and the ones that are going to route our orders. But even when we had to call support, and I hate to say this, there were people in another country that you could hardly hear sometimes and understand when you're trying to report something, you know, like, hey, your GPS that you navigation route is wrong. You know, it's off sync. You led me to a highway underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think they're taking things back. And I kind of had a weird situation today. I did a couple of the .com orders, and I delivered to a very bougie area, and the customer was like, what are you doing here? Husband and wife is outside. And I'm like, oh, I'm here to deliver your Walmart order. And they're like, we didn't order anything from Walmart. Needless to say, actually it was ordered through Amazon, but it came through Walmart.
Interesting. Yep.
So, and somebody's even had a joke, a meme the other day, like, guess what I had to drop off? They dropped off caskets. So,
well, listen, DoorDash will deliver anything.
But no, that was through
or
Walmart.
Spark or Walmart.
So, yeah. So
it's crazy. It's crazy the amount of things and what type of things we can have delivered to our home now. It's kind of cool, but it's also kind of scary because like what's next? Like, are we going to be like, are you going to be able to, is a mom going to be able to like birth her child and then somebody can be like, hey, can you bring me my baby? Like, is it going to be, is that where we're going with this? Like, are we going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I don't know. It's weird.
I just think the big players are going to wind up staying. And when we all are become very, you know, I think more so during the pandemic with the fact of the convenience of having things delivered, you know, you're saving time. I totally agree with you about the no tipper situation. I cherry pick too as well. You know, it gets to the point that even those that have crappy, you know, there's no tip added. If they will keep boosting it up every 5 minutes, $1 more, and all of a sudden within 30 minutes, it's an extra $5.
Sure, that's different.
A lot of us will wind up taking it.
Sure.
Just because we know we're going to get compensated and it's straight up money versus having to wait. Because we've all been tip baited, you know, and that's the thing.
Sure. People
tip bait. That's another problem.
Yeah. Dave, so what do you think? Do you think, first, if you could answer, like, do you think with DoorDash not having Walmart anymore, do you think that will hurt some drivers? And then also, do you think everything that we're even talking about, is it just market dependent? Can there be different varying opinions because the market's so different? What do you say to those things?
Well, I think like personally for my market, like Walmart is not even a thing because I live like in Los Angeles area and all the Walmarts are scattered outside. So would it affect people in other markets? Perhaps, yeah, because they're probably more reliant on that kind of work. I mean, from all that I've seen, a lot of the content creators with all the Walmart orders, I've seen nothing but complain from that. So a lot of people are just kind of like with a sigh of relief because they don't have to see those orders anymore.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you don't have to see this trash. They're, if anything, celebrating that Walmart's no longer working with DoorDash in that regard.
Yeah.
And I mean, just generally with everything going on, every market's going to be different. And as far as like Top Dasher, if you live like in a big city where the volume is just going to be flowing there, I don't really think, I don't know from experience because I've never actually shot for Top Dasher. So I don't think it would really make a difference in that regard. Like,
so let me ask you this. So you've never done it, but let me ask, so if you're somebody that's never been a Top Dasher and you're hitting your goals, you feel like you're making money, you're paying your bills, your profits are good, like you're hitting your financial goals, do you think it's a benefit to even try? Because at some point you might have some bad days, you got to take some trash, or let me say this, let's say you're somebody that is a cherry picker, so you're not a Top Dasher, but you're not meeting your goals. Would you say maybe to those people they should try it because maybe they're missing some opportunities? What do you say to that? Okay,
wait, so go back again. So you were saying that to like, you were asking for me first, like it would not be worth it. I'm a multi-apper, so
okay, got it.
I would have to kill a lot of. I make like 3 times the amount of money on Uber than I do on DoorDash, so it doesn't even matter. Like DoorDash for me is in the background. Most of my money personally comes from either Uber Eats or Amazon Flex. Okay. So I always like turn on. I'm signed up for all the 3 delivery apps, which is DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub. And I seldomly ever get a Grubhub, and I'll do it if it makes sense. And then most of the time, I'm just like knocking out Uber Eats, because that's like the big player in my area.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like so like for me, it would be a waste of time to even attempt to get Top Dasher because I would actually be losing money that I would be making. But going back to what was the question about somebody else attempting to do that or
Yeah,
what
so
I recommended?
let's say you're a cherry picker.
Mhm.
Right? You don't have 3 apps. You've got maybe only 1 or 2.
Okay.
Right. And you're not making money. You're frustrated because your phone's not going off a lot. One day maybe you make $100 and the next day you make 30. It's like very fluctuating for you. And you've been doing it for a couple of months. Do you think that person should try for Top Dasher?
I would say, yeah, if obviously the first thing I would recommend is sign up for more apps. First of all, you're being a clown if you're putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yes.
So
good point.
But in the case that like maybe, for whatever reason, they're like on a wait list for another app or anything, I would say maybe, it's worth a shot just to give yourself a little bit of an edge. See if it actually works out for you. I mean, what do you have to lose at that point if you're literally not making any money just sitting there cherry picking? I mean, that point, like if you're not making money the way you were used to making money, it's probably time to rethink your strategy and try something different.
Yeah, let me read this comment from Joe Easty. I see this a lot. This is what I think as well. He says, like I said earlier, I did not see a major difference between in Top Dasher mode and out of it. I think for the majority, right? Because you're going to have also people saying, hey, well, I was a non-Top Dasher, and as soon as I went to Top Dasher, I was making more money. Mm-hmm. Great. It's like that should be the goal for all of us. We have to applaud that, not scold the Top Dasher. Because if they're making more, truly, and they're making more profits, that's an awesome thing because they figured out what works for them in their market, right? But I think with most of us, I think you can make about the same. I think Mr. Flex is out in Jersey, outside of New York, or he's in Jersey. He's not a Top Dasher. He makes really good money. Spends a lot of time. He's out there every day. He hustles. He knows his market. He makes good decisions, and he makes really good money. He shows that every single day. But then I also think that there's a Top Dasher somewhere else that can make the same or about the same as him, but they're Top Dasher. Mm-hmm. And, so how do you want to work? I used the football analogy in my video. Right. Do you want to be the running back that has to have the ball 30 times to get to 100 yards? Or do you want to be the running back that only has to touch the ball 10 or 20 to be at 100 yards? Do you want to be efficient? Because I think sometimes we're looking at, I made $1,000. Well, right. Okay, but how much did you drive? How much did you beat up your car? How much stress did you have to put yourself under? Did you have to deliver some shady areas? I think there's other variables there. That's right. When the cherry pickers say, hold up, I didn't have to do all that. Right. And I still made what you made.
And see, that's the thing. It's like everybody wants to talk about numbers. It's like numbers. How much money did you like? Let's look at it the perspective of revenue. Everybody keeps talking about revenue. Mm-hmm. I made generally when I say I hit about anywhere between 200 to 250 a day, but I know in the back of my head that's not all my money. There's some of that money that's going to have to go back into expenses for whether it be gas or anything like that. And then also there's taxes that you have to take into account.
Yeah.
So I think that's like going back to what you're saying, like, show me the receipts. Like, are you really more profitable being a Top Dasher? Yes. Or just because you're still achieving the goal doesn't mean that at the end, once you subtract everything, you're making as much money as somebody that's probably sitting there cherry picking. Because think about it, when you're cherry picking, most of the time you're just sitting there. You're not putting any miles into your car. I think a lot of times with cherry picking, it just takes a lot of patience because you have to be sitting there really calculating, is this going to be worth my time? And that's ultimately what it comes down to. I mean, rather like, sometimes I'm go, but that's only when the orders are making sense. And, it's.
Yeah, there's a little bit of luck involved there. You got to have the market. Maybe people got paid that day. The weather's not great, so people want to stay in. There's a convention in town, so there's a lot of rideshare because I like to do rideshare as well. So there's a lot of other flowing things that we can't predict and really know sometimes until that day.
Quick question:
or the day before. Yeah, go ahead.
On the rideshare, you get full transparency on your on the information for trips, right? In your area.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the thing that sucks in my area. We get that whole you have to accept 5 out of 10 trips. So it's always like I'm teetering with that. I was watching you on the stream with what was that? What was that stream you were talking with Sergio?
Sergio. So that's the Show Me the Money Club on the rideshare guy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's in LA too, so he was I always hear him talk about like rideshare and everything like that. And then I remember he was talking about a year ago how he was making $50 an hour, and I'm like, yeah, I don't see that kind of money anymore over here with rideshare.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's $50 an hour is crazy, but that's at market. It's different. So,
Yeah.
so Kathy, anything else you'd like to say before I go on to the next callers here?
No, I appreciate always being on when I get a chance to be on.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
definitely, again, like with Spark, depending if you get in, like I have a Walmart that's like 6 minutes from me. And one of the things I will tell you, just a FYI, the ones that are like the superstores, those are
Mhm.
going to be the ones that are going to be pretty much pulling all the orders out. A lot of the other stores, like the marketplace ones, they're going to be phasing those out. So a lot of orders will be coming through those bigger super stores. And I also have 2 other locations about 25 minutes. But I myself, again, even when I'm cherry picking, most of the miles I drive might be six miles at most, unless I take those .com. That might be 30 miles, but it's really got to be worth my time and effort because those take about an hour and a half to do for a ton of orders. But overall, I want to say on average, it's about $25 a trip. So here, and then it's that you got to know your market. People that tip good, some that don't. But yeah, good luck to you if you get on Spark, because I really think you'll like it. I've done Uber in the past when Uber was a thing, like when it first started back in Chicago when I was living there. And oh my God, it was great at first, but then new people bought it and everything kind of changed, so I stopped. And then I had one drunk man that wanted to sit in the front with me and wouldn't refuse to sit in the back, telling me that I was going the wrong way. And I think that's when I halted it, because I kept looking on the side. What do I have in case I need to jab this guy?
Yeah, it can be scary.
Drunk
Yeah,
and crap.
it can be scary. I always tell people, I'm really big cheers and a lot of respect for all my late night taxi or Uber or Lyft drivers. You're put in some situations that are crazy. And I always tell people, you got to trust your intuition and your gut. If you roll up somewhere, something doesn't feel right, somebody gets in your car, just leave. It's not worth the fare. Who cares about the bad rating? Use your instincts, use your gut, like just get out of that situation. Because sometimes some people might have bad intentions or not even bad intentions, and they're just drunk and they don't know what they're doing, So
yeah.
Crazy. Hey guys, I appreciate you guys. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
See you guys. Have a great
Happy
one.
to be on.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so we have Mad Dash waiting, Thomas and KF. I see you guys. Stand by. I'm gonna get each of you guys in. Just want to say what's up to the chat real quick. I see Dash and Grandpa, Fritz Morris. Nope, 707. We got Bud Soda, Driven Mom. What up? What up? Random Ryan. Pedro needs. Hold on. What's he say here? I can't read it. It's going too fast. Pedro needs to use his platinum status with Instacart. Yeah, well, I haven't turned on Instacart lately only because Uber's been having the rideshare's just been kicking my butt. Like it's never. I'm not sitting. I'm just always going. So I like that because I get to get my money quick. I don't have to cherry pick with Uber as much, because the offers are so quick, and I always know I don't take everything, but I know another one's coming really good. So I really, really love that. So shout out to the 300 in the chat. Hit the thumbs up for your boy. We're talking about, does it really matter who does it matter who's right or who's wrong about Top Dasher, cherry picker? If you're making your profits, that's the key word here, because anybody can make money. Literally, you have a driver's license, an automobile, you can make money with DoorDash and Uber. You can make money, but are you making profits? That's the big question here, right? And is it everything just market specific, right? So somebody out in Florida, New York, Tampa, Arizona, LA, St. Louis, Chicago, our perspectives are going to be varying, I think, because our markets are different. Demographics, infrastructure, rural, city, densely populated, like all those things play a part, in my opinion, as to how things are going to flow to your phone, right? So, and I will say this as well. Somebody sent me a clip. Richard, if you're watching, you can confirm this with the people. I don't want people thinking I'm making this up. Somebody sent me a clip of a live you were on where you had 2 phones, Top Dasher phone, cherry picking phone. And you said the Top Dasher phone was going to go off first, and it didn't. The other one went off first. So if your theory's right that the higher acceptance rate should see the offer first, why didn't that phone go off first? Question, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and bring Mad Dash in the house. This is a brother from another mother. We met, I guess it was about a year ago, right? So we're going to talk about that, and then I know he did his own experiment with acceptance rate and top dashing. So I want to have him enlighten us with his perspective in his market. So let's bring him on right now. What's up, man?
What's up, hey,
You're
going on, man?
You're looking studly over there. I see you in your wife beat a tank top.
I know, dude.
What's up, bro?
I'm comfortable at home. I ain't dashing.
I love it, man.
What's going on, man?
So how you been?
Yeah,
man?
what a year.
Oh, I know, right?
Great.
What a year.
Great.
What a year, man. What a year. So what do you think about what's going on? Can you share with us your perspective? Share with us, maybe remind everybody how we met last year and how that went.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, this is just the new cycle of talk. Back then,
yeah,
I don't even think you were like starting to multi-app, and the para thing was going on, and I just love it how you get the community talking, just the topic, you know what I mean? And the more people, it's like a conglomerate of doing research or testing everybody's market. You got all these gig tubers going after it and see what they can find.
And I think that's overall, I think that's a positive, right?
The more, analyzing stuff, the better, I guess. Yeah. And like I said, different market. It's mainly markets are different. And when I started my channel, when I met you in St. Louis on my road trip and everything, I was a top dasher. Then I started, and remember, I halted starting my channel because I got another month's top dasher. I was
you were upset. You were upset that they gave it to you because it had to kind of halt your process there. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they gave it to me, like, I don't know, as a gift or on accident, because my numbers weren't there, and I got it for another month. But we all know what's 20% of $40. It's $8. Okay, if you get a better than a banger, you're always looking at your subtotals. So it's not like the secret algorithm or whatever. They tell you, top dasher is going to get preference for anything over $35. So feeding a family of 4 for less than $35 on DoorDash is nearly impossible. Like, you know what I mean? You're going to spend $40.
You can't. Yeah.
So to have it like regularly getting $8, $10, $12 tips, the subtotalers are going to have to be there. And so they call it tiebreaker. That's what I think Bud Soda said. That only applies when there's a tiebreaker. So it almost like works against itself because top dashers stay busy. So when the banger comes through and it's for, say, it's a subtotal of $70, I love it. You always say, look, acceptance rate doesn't matter. Look at this banger I got. Well, top dashers they're not open for orders. They're busy because they don't, especially like the ones in the know, they're only doing it the last 5 days of the month. I'm just interested to see a cherry picker if they get a lot more of those bangers during that period of time, because all the top dashers are taking every order and not even giving it time for that $35 plus order to hit. Yeah. So, the way I paid the money I was making from DoorDash prior to when we met, that whole time I was banging because I would go out
hustling though. You were hustling though. Like, you were going after it. You weren't just being like, you weren't. I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I think you were pushing the limit. Like, you were out there really hustling and grinding and not being afraid to switch zones and test things out and put a little miles on the car sometimes. Like, you were out there grinding. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, I had a deadline, Pedro.
Yeah. you were hustling. Yeah.
It was, road trip cash. I did as much as I could get. Yeah. So, I was grinding. I had a full-time job. But they would, so like this is I was delivering to subdivisions outside of my zone, and the furthest beyond the subdivision there was like custom homes, so that'd be like 6 miles, but a lot of the subdivisions were like 3 miles. So at the start of this, say 5:30, I might get one going out there to 6 miles away, that's 12 mile round trip. That sucks.
Mhm.
but the tips were always, that, like I said, $8 is 20% of $40,
Yeah, so
and they're
these
those
runs are
were,
they're all 8 to 12 to 13 bucks, or like they're
yeah.
good.
I was
Cash flow's good.
cash flow's good,
Yeah.
but then I was a top dasher at the time too. But on my way back, before I even got in the zone, I already have another banger going back maybe to the same subdivision I just came from.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'd start stacking. So like that 12-mile round trip might take me, it might take me. That might be my only run. I might get 3 an hour, but then they started stacking. So then you're talking, each one was $12, average $12 run. So then I was 24 in it, and I'd get over 40, $50 an hour, and that was banging. But then when I lost top dasher, all I had to do was stay in zone. So what happened with my numbers is I was doing more runs.
Mm-hmm.
The dasher pay was going up, and the customer tips were going down, but I was still making, good money.
Yeah.
All it was shorter trips, in zone, stay. No, none of the round trips I was talking about. But if I left my zone for another zone and ended my dash, a lot of times I couldn't get back into my zone because I was no longer a top dasher. My zone would be gray because everybody likes my main home zone is a really good one, and it'll go gray if you gotta keep, you can't lose your dash.
And I think you bring up a great point, because the one thing I could say, I understand why people would go for it or whatever, is because the whole scheduling or not being able to dash now. And I know I've always said this, and maybe I don't say it enough, right? I'm real lucky. Like I could count on one hand, how many times I went into another zone or something, and then, I couldn't dash in that zone, right? Because I zone hop, because I can always just dash now. Maybe only a couple times where I've gotten into like my downtown zone at 12 p.m., middle of lunch, and I wasn't able to dash immediately. But even then, maybe you only got to wait like 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever, right? So I've always been able to like just kind of go where the money is. I don't have to worry about staying in zone. I think I'm really lucky in that regard.
Yeah, and you end your dash and start a new dash.
Yes,
more
I do that often.
Often, and you're all over. So you've got multiple zones where you like to dash, and your market, those zones, and where, not everybody has that. So it is still really market specific. But I think if you're not seeing these bangers that are over $40,
mm-hmm.
your zone might just be saturated with top dashers where it never gets to you. But like in a busy zone, like if you have a good market, they'll trickle down to you. Because top dashers stay busy. Yeah, because they're trying to keep their acceptance rate up, so they're not sitting around waiting for orders. So it's all it's luck of the draw when that banger comes through.
I think it is a little bit of luck too. Yeah,
but the odds of a top dasher being on a run are high because they're not sitting around cherry picking a run. So when that run comes in, the odds of all the top dashers in your zone being busy is high. So
what do you say to this comment? So Vaughn 107 says some may be a top dasher, but their customer rating is probably low, so they send it to someone with a better customer rating. I think, and this is my opinion, there's varying opinions on this. I think a good order, or some people talk about pairing customers with drivers because of a history and things like that. I don't know if that's true. I just don't know. I don't have a strong opinion either way. But I think if I'm a 5.0 driver, I've got a lot of deliveries. I've been working the Doordash app for a while. I'm almost at 7,000 deliveries, 5.0 rating. I feel like I'm a better driver for that nice big catering order than somebody that is customer rated 4.85 and have only been dashing for like 2 months. I feel like my experience I'm going to give to the customer is probably going to be better. I don't know. What do you say to that as far as the customer rating versus acceptance rate?
Like I said, that might be like splitting hairs, you know what I mean? Because that might make one top dasher better than another top dasher because their customer rating is better. But I said this in a comment. I was like, if we're going to be cherry picking and taking these good tipping runs, we need to be providing good service because we want them to continue to tip good and think why they're getting good service. So you need to be using your bag, and all that just providing good service, communicating. If you're going to be taking these good tipping runs, because eventually if they get bad service, they might stop.
Yeah,
so
I
like
think we want to keep those customers happy, because I think the people that don't tip most of the time aren't going to tip regardless of what you do. I've managed restaurants, guys, half of my life. If a customer comes in with a mindset of they just don't tip, cool. Regardless of what you do, most of the time, you're not going to get a tip. You're not, you could sing and dance and give everything. Maybe you'll get a buck. I've seen it, right? But the customers that do tip normally, those are the ones we want to continue to make sure they're still ordering. We need to see those bangers. We need to see those big orders, the nice $10 tips. We need that, right? And the ones that aren't going to tip, it's really hard to get a tip from somebody that doesn't normally tip, in my experience. What about yours?
Yeah, well, the different subdivisions, I know, what you can expect, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Different, like, as opposed to an apartment. Like when I went to non-Top Dasher, I was delivering to a lot more apartments because they were closer to the food centers. You know what I mean? I wasn't making those runs out to these nicer subdivisions. And what do you think about, like I said, anything beyond a 20% tip is a unicorn, and I don't think would be consistent. Like, you know what I mean? So if you're not seeing those big orders, you got to do something. But I mean, if you're solely doing DoorDash, I think it might be beneficial to be Top Dasher. It's not always an option for everybody to be multi-apping. I remember, like I said, a year ago when we met, you weren't multi-apping. It wasn't it was a big rush.
Yeah.
It was like a big YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Like
I had a lot of DoorDash. A lot of DoorDash. I did Uber so infrequently. And then I started learning, okay, well, DoorDash is getting slower or whatever, right? And I was like, all right, let me put Uber. All right, let me get Instacart, right? Now let me go back to Rideshare. Like, I like to be doing a little bit of everything here and there, following the promotions, because I like to maximize that opportunities, And I think most of us, I have to speak to the people, the majority, like most of us don't just work one app, right? So when we have people saying Top Dasher, do Top Dasher, that's because that works for them, because that's the only thing they're doing, maybe. Like you just said. So then I can respect. I respect that. You got to, you figured out a way to make your money. And if you're making profits, man, we got to salute that. We got to cheers to that. Right. But most of us aren't just doing one app. So
like I said, you got to see it's market specific. DoorDash is so dominant. It's in every market, but some markets like Uber Eats is dead. And some people can't do Uber X, maybe their car is too old or they don't want people in their car. That maybe some of these markets their options are more limited. So the DoorDash is all they got. And, like I said, if you're not it's hard to spend under $35 or $40 when you're doing DoorDash. If you know what I mean? If you're ordering DoorDash.
Yeah, I bought a pizza tonight, a pizza and some boneless wings. Okay.
Yeah.
$35. Like, so, and that's 2 items. I mean it's so when DoorDash, to me, when they say preference for high paying orders, paying $35 or more, that to me, a $35 subtotal, when I see that, I don't get excited. That's not a big order in my market. Right. And for me, in my market, when I see that, I'm not like, ooh, great. For me, when I see like $60 plus, that's when I know, okay, this order is going to be $10 more. That's my indicator, right? And then if I see $100, all right, this order is paying me $20. Like, I just know that going in, at the percentages will probably weigh out in my favor. But $35 is not a lot on DoorDash.
So I'm like I said, everybody can do all this analyzing and experimentations and stuff like that, but 20% tip is the norm. Like, I don't think it's sustainable, or it's going to regularly come that somebody's tipping more than 20% on their. You said, a 35 is a $7 tip. That's a $9.25 order. If it's if it's 2 miles, that's pretty good. That's a great order.
Yeah.
But like I said, every market should have those, like $40, $50 orders with a 20% tip, and that you can make your bread and butter on that. So
Absolutely. You do 3 of those
Maybe
an
try
hour.
Top
You do
Dash
3,
if you're not seeing them.
3.
Huh?
You do 3 of those an hour, it's $30. So yeah, that's.
Like I said,
I think most
I
of
was,
us are happy with $30. So we should
I
be
was
at
doing
least. You know?
so from 6 to 8 o'clock every night. I'd be doing 4 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be stacking them out to these subdivisions. It'd take me a half hour there and back, 15 minutes. And like I said, I always had one on my way back. They were already sending me one. So, I was banging out 4,
Mm-hmm.
an hour, banking
Yeah,
money.
4 an hour, man. That's that's hustling right there. But that's that
So
stacking and all that low miles.
well, yeah. So like I said, they were $10. They averaged $10 a piece, and if I could stack them, and they were sending me back and forth, I was just doing the round trips. But I do this from 6 to 8 o'clock at night, like every night when I was, top dasher.
Yeah.
So it's worth trying. But if Spark's making your money, then go with that. If that's what's hot in your,
by
if
all means,
DoorDash isn't the best app in your market, then go with your market specific money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can't.
And I think DoorDash is going to continue to grow and do their thing, but I think the if anything, it's going to be harder to make money with DoorDash because there's so many more drivers doing it, more informed drivers, which isn't a bad thing, right? But there's so much going on that we have to have multiple applications. I think we should be talking about that, and being profitable should be on the forefront versus top dasher, cherry picker, and figuring out who's right and like trying to prove this theory. And at the end of the day, like we just got to focus on your market, learn your market, watch YouTube for entertainment. If you're brand new, you can get some knowledge, but watch it for some relatability, because I think myself included, I can only say so much. And if you're in St. Louis and you're watching me, I could definitely help you, but I can't think I can help somebody out in Vegas. I just don't know that area. So,
there's similarities. You know what I mean? If you're struggling in your market and you see one of the gig tubers and something that's working for them, like I said, if you're delivering in the suburbs, that might work. Like you might give it a shot. Like, when that, like I was talking about, I ain't going all the way out there outside my zone, I'll be doing a round trip. So you would not even think of considering doing that, but then try it. You might get one on your way back, before you even get into zone, because they see that you're willing to go out there, and you might just start ripping. Like when I was the period of time when I had to get my numbers up to at the end of the month, I didn't have to decline a whole lot because they just kept sending me what I was talking about. So once you're a top dasher, it's a lot easier to keep the top dasher status because they're sending you these 35 plus orders, these $35, they're sending you good orders, and you can still decline 1 and 4, or you can even, if it's a slow night, you just have to make it up the next night. You know what I mean? So like if it's a slow night, you might decline 3 and only accept 5, but you just kind of make it up. It's a game. It
is a game, and I think sometimes they're just laughing at us, but we can laugh back. It's, we got to be making money. We're providing for our family. Like we're hopefully some of us are at a point where we're figured out, okay, what's my next move? I want to use the apps to get to my next move, whatever that is. It's all personal, but yeah, man, like they got to be. I mean, can you imagine like Tony and his little minions sitting around? They're like looking at us like, these guys have no idea what they're talking about. Like, the algorithm. Well, okay. Yeah. Like they, I think it's kind of funny. It is funny.
Well, like I said, we know what that's what they tell us, $35 and over.
We know only what they yes.
Only what they tell us. And like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix it. Yeah.
But if you are having problems, I'm telling you, if you're not seeing subtotals more than $40, there you might have a problem. There's, then what they're telling us that the top dashers get priority for the $35 and over, then that might be your issue in your zone or your market that you're not seeing them.
It could be
because that's what DoorDash says. It's not looking into it any further than what they're telling you is, because they exist. Because if you're trying to feed more than one person, you're going to spend more than $35, $40.
Yeah.
If you're not seeing them, they're out there.
Yeah,
anyway, that's it.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. I got 4 more guys waiting here. So
I know you. let me ramble on for a while, didn't
No,
you?
I just
Okay,
wanted
man.
to get. I just wanted us to talk, man. But I
'Cause,
want to get these guys in.
yeah,
And hey, man,
it's been
hit me up. I don't, I know you got the
Okay,
travels
good.
going and all busy, but you got my number. So,
All right, man.
all right, peace.
Have a good night, Pedro.
You too,
Bye.
brother. All right, Matt Dash for Road Trip Cast. Now we have Thomas KF, leveling up with Levi. Let's play Doordash and Tony, the Driven Dad. We got a full crew. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna bring all you guys on at the same time because we like to do that sometimes. Everybody just try not to talk over one another. I'll try to lead the chat or all that kind of stuff. Before I bring you guys on, just want to see what's going on in the chat. I've got Smacking Ass 2007. Pedro, what gift did I win? What up, man? We got Scott Mundy, Olivia, Henry, Dashing Grandpa, Jeff. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hope you guys are getting some kind of value from this. Doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong. Is it all just market dependent, right? Why are we watching YouTube? Is it get tips and tricks? Is it for relatability? Is it for entertainment? There's a lot of different great channels that do good things in different ways, right? But at the end of the day, my advice, not even my advice, because it is what it is, right? You got to do what works for you in your market. Be willing to try this or try that. But I do think you have control. I think I've shown that on this channel. And I do think that you have to be willing to try different things. Maybe Tap Dasher's for you. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it from my experience because I do well without it. But that doesn't mean it cannot work for you, right? So try what we try. I think next month's going to be very interesting to see the profitability from a cherry picker to a top dasher, the profits now, and to stack those up against. I can't wait for that. I think that's going to be really helpful for some people. So let's bring in the panel. So we have Thomas, KF, leveling up with Levi. We got Let's Play Doordash, and we have the Driven Dad. Gentlemen, how are we tonight?
Doing good, guys.
Good.
Good
So
evening.
first we'll start with Thomas and then go to KF, okay? Because I know those guys have been waiting. Appreciate you guys for waiting. What do you guys got going on tonight? What do you think about the topics? Thomas, we'll start with you. Oh, hold on. I think you're muted. Hold on one second. Thomas, if you can unmute your mic, then you can talk. Or put headphones on. But it says you're muted. Okay, so I'm gonna go to KF. KF, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Pedro. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you hanging on, waiting. What do you think about the topics tonight? What would you like to talk about?
Okay, so I think the topics are great. I think that the conversation about the algorithm is going to be a lot of speculation. I think it's kind of like watching, Monday morning armchair quarterback with Skip Bayless or whoever.
Yeah.
We're kind of all like Stephen A. Smith. We're all kind of sitting on the sidelines trying to speculate as to how this thing really plays out. I think at the end of the day, cherry picking for me. Shout out to everybody from the Austin market, Texas, Central Texas market. I'm in Austin, Texas. Okay. So what we deal with here in this market is that during the summertime, most of the University of Texas students are out of the city, which greatly affects service industry, hospitality, so forth, and traffic, obviously. Right. So during the summertime here in Austin, Texas, what I learned very quickly is you have to multi-app and you have to stack amongst those apps at the same time. Now I use 2 phones. I split one phone, an Android phone with DoorDash. I take the other one for Uber Eats, and I do Uber X and Lyft as well. Spark is not available too much in the Austin market because it's all filled up. I tried signing up. I'm still on the waiting list. And I don't do Grubhub, and I don't do Amazon Flex. I can tell you this much, that for me, cherry picking, when I started watching your videos and I started seeing what you were trying to basically make minimum in terms of dollars per mile ratio, I saw that I immediately jumped up like $5 in 2 weeks just by implementing strategic ways of taking orders that were either going to round out trips or that were going to be at a minimum of dollars per mile. Yeah. And what my thing about profitability is this, Pedro, I'm a firm believer in everybody's expenses are going to be different. Some people are delivering with sedans. Some people are delivering with SUVs, right? Some people are only doing food delivery. Some people are doing all types of variety, right? Some people are going to have different gas mileage. They're going to cost their expenses more, thus reducing their profitability. Some are going to have greater, right? Some even might be using electric vehicles. I use a 2013 Nissan Juke. It's kind of cool. It's a 4-banger. It gets me about 26 to 20 miles per gallon. I can usually squeeze out about $240 to $260 out of a full tank of gas, and then I just subtract about $35 for a full tank of gas in my market right now.
Yeah, that's a little better in mine because I'm getting about 22 to 24, 25 miles per gallon. So but your fuel cost is a big indicator for the profits for sure. And hey, I got to say, I love the analogy you gave in the beginning because I thought about saying something like the whole sports analogy, or like, everybody's got an opinion. Everybody has a different percent. And I think YouTube's no different. And I think in even other genres of YouTube, different niches, we see the same thing, right? And I think that's what's great about YouTube. Not everybody's going to have the right opinion, or not right opinion, the right or the same opinion. And not everybody's going to be right all the time. Not everybody's going to like each other. That's okay. We have to understand that that's got to be okay, so.
Yeah. Now, Pedro, here's what I would try and challenge the community that's watching online tonight is, instead of, the narrative in terms of asking about algorithm or asking about Top Dasher in terms of your subjects for the evening, just to answer your question a little bit more fully without dancing around the bush, I think those are very important questions. I think for me, from my perspective, because I'm a little bit on the newer end, I would love to see some of your Dashers here that are loaded up. Explain to me how you're stacking orders amongst apps at the same time, like between Uber Eats and DoorDash simultaneously. So if you're in a slow market right now, which Austin, up until recently, before the UT students started moving in this weekend, I think, and we had Pride weekend, we had slow orders, right? So what I started doing was I would run both apps at the same time. I'm taking orders from both apps if they make sense in terms of a direction and dollars to miles, right? So my thing is, I would love to see us come up with more strategic ways of elevating our community and elevating drivers that are newer, so that we can be on a Pedro level or a Dash guy level or a whoever the top guys are that are doing content online. Because I think that in terms of the figuring out the algorithm or what's best in terms of Top Dasher or cherry picking, I think that these are all going to involve, like you said, so many variables and things that are going to be unique to each market and unique to each driver's experience.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Thomas, are you there? Thomas, can you hear
me, Pedro? What's good?
Yeah. How you doing, man? Can you hear? Okay, so I think your mic got figured out. So what do you say to what KF is saying there? And also, what do you think about and Levi and Joe, chime in as well. What do you think about these markets and stacking and is everything just market dependent? Does anybody really know the algorithm? Like, let's just have an open conversation about some of that. I'll start with you, Thomas.
Yeah.
Thomas, you there?
Well, yeah, I agree with what he said.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute you because you're breaking up. Hold on, I'm gonna mute you because you're breaking up a little bit there. So Levi, what do you say? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead. So this Levi and Joe, what do you guys say about that?
I think what was y'all talking? To be honest with you, I jumped in halfway through your show, so I didn't get to hear the topic. I didn't think I was going to jump on. I just want to jump on, brother. So I got.
Oh, see, look, you're not even prepared. What's going on?
Bro, I've been trying to
I got you. Listen. So this is what's going on. So we have people that are basically, top dashing, saying they love it. Everybody should try it, because you get priority to high paying orders. And then you have cherry pickers that are saying, well, I make good money already. Where do you, what are you first? And then do you think that one is better than the other? And then also, do you think everything is just market dependent? Do you think we're all just speculating and each market's very different?
I'll just be that guy. I'll just go ahead and say 100% say the top dashers are not making money like they think they are. So,
okay. So let me stop you there. Why do you say that? Because you seem very confident in saying that.
Well, just watch people like you, first of all, for how long you've been on YouTube. And then I used to run DoorDash obviously a lot. And, these guys are taking 250 orders. They think, they're not taking that big of a loss because they're getting more orders quicker, whatever they think. But, they were driving a lot of miles. So
sometimes I think some of them are, maybe some of them aren't. Some of them would say their rebuttal would be, well, I only do it for 2-3 days out of the month at the end of the month. So then for the other 27 days, I see really great orders. So, it kind of balances out for them, or it's I don't know. I think, what do you say to the markets, right? So what market are you getting, Levi? Remind me.
Basically Hickson, Tennessee.
Okay. Tennessee. So smaller market than me, right? So don't you think that our markets, being different populations, different demographics, different ordering patterns, maybe different seasons, different time zones, don't you think it could just be that the markets are different and one person could make this here, could work for them there? Maybe it doesn't work for you in Tennessee. What do you say to that?
I mean, maybe I'm just crazy or something, but I just think math is math. And I just think them taking them 250 orders, man. I mean, it's a joke. I mean,
I agree. Math is math. I think if you take too many of them, if you take too many of them, you can't be profitable. That's my opinion on it. Joe, jump in on here. What do you think? What do you think, man?
Yeah, man. Like I believe it's market specific. And honestly, I think what's right, the only thing that's right is what's right for you as an individual. I mean, you got to get out there and explore, see what's happening in your market, see what's popping, and do what's right for you. Make those decisions that matter to you and stop listening to all us other gig tubers and what we're doing and think, oh man, he's doing that. If I do that, I'm going to get the same results. Because I've got people in my market that watch my channel, and they just don't do as good as me. And I don't know, I'm not there with them, so I don't know what decisions they're making or not making. But I know I'm lucky to be in my market, right? I'm in the Metro Detroit area, and it's populated. There are orders everywhere, constantly, all day, all night long. And if you know how to pick and choose the right ones that are right for you, and you know where they're going, where they're going to leave you off, and where you might pick up that next nice big order, you can make some serious good money out here. I've been killing it. So it just boils down to doing what's right for you, making those decisions yourself. I mean, we're independent contractors, so it's up to us what happens at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And if I sit here worrying about, well, Pedro, you're going to call me a clown because I'm doing this. It just takes away from doing what's right for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point. I think it's a great point. And I think that at the end of the day, you have to do, we all have personal responsibility. You got to do what's good for Joe. Right. And if you're, my only 100%. Thing is, I will continue to challenge this, and I'm going to do a better job of, are you making profit though? Like, cause if you're not, okay, hold up. Like if you're happy with making $10 an hour, hey, that's cool. I'm not going to judge you, but it's going to catch up to you. It's probably going to catch up to you at some point. If you're not making profits in the gig economy, it's going to catch up to you. And I don't want to be like, I told you so, but like, that's just a fact of mathematics and the economics. So that's why I push for that. If you take too many 2, 3, and even $4 orders, it's going to be really hard to get your cash flow at the end of the day to look good, because you're probably burning through more fuel. You're beating your car up a little bit more. You got more opportunities for a customer to say they didn't get their food, because a lot of the low tipping customers, that's what they do sometimes. And the drop offs are hard. So I think it's a good point. You're talking about internalizing it and just saying, hey, I got to do what I got to do. Forget what Pedro says. Forget what Joe says up in Detroit. Like, I got to learn my market. I'll take some of their nuances here and there, but hey, that might not work for me. Good that it works for them, but maybe I got something else going on. And if you're making profits, I cheers to anybody that's actually making money out there, because it's not easy. I think anybody can do this job, but I don't think it's easy to make profit with it. And that's how I feel, at least, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Right.
Thomas, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yo, can you hear me now, Pedro?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you? Sorry, I'm taking an order right now, so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Very good over here.
You want to jump in on this topic and what you've been hearing?
I mean, I kind of agree with, because in my market, I'm in Vegas, and I just can't take $2 orders. So I like to cherry pick, and I'm multi-app, so even orders that are worthwhile pretty much every 20, 30 minutes. So
yeah,
I just can't make any money taking the 250 orders.
You can't, it's hard to make money when you take too many of them. I think that's.
I agree. You said it was it can be market specific as well, like you said.
I think it can be, because I think we have.
I'm gonna go, Pedro, because I'm busy. But
no, you're good, man. Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in. Safe driving, brother. All right, I'm gonna bring the Tony, the Driven Dad, in real quick and see if he's. Can you unmute yourself, Tony, if you can hear us?
There he is. I'm here.
How you doing, man? How's it going? Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I'm doing well. How are you all doing?
I'm good. So you want to share with us, first off, well, I'll give you a little intro. For those of you that know, this is the Driven Dad. He's got an awesome channel. He's doing the Top Dasher challenges, he calls it. I believe he just did his 10th day, right?
Right, yeah.
Loving it, Tony.
I did that earlier this week, but yeah, definitely got 10 days left to do 5 a day.
Yeah. And how do you feel now that you're halfway there, right? How you feel, what are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, it's a lot better than it was last year as far as doing things, but I'm just doing 5 orders at a time. I don't rely on DoorDash because I mainly do Rideshare now. So that's why I figured, I could take it easy, document how many miles I'm using and how long it's going to take, and just like give a general, like, this is about what it's going to take to get you the top dasher and amount of time and effort and expense. But I think it's a little bit different when you're crunching it down into 5 to 3 days.
Yeah.
Just because, you're going to have to work some dead shifts where you're not just cherry picking either lunch or dinner shifts. But
yeah, I think the way you're doing it's going to be unique, but I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think when you get to that, because you're going for 100%, correct?
Right.
So
the tippy top.
Right. So when you get to that top of the pyramid, right, and you're looking down on most of the other dashers in your area, you should be, in theory, based on what some people are saying and experiencing, you should be seeing better paying offers, right? So that's kind of what you're looking to see that happens, right? And also,
if it happens, I'm going to change my name to King Tut instead of. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
I'm curious to see if you get into the big bag program, Tony. That's the thing I'm wondering about.
As soon as I hit the requirements for that, I'm not going to wait for Top Dasher to hit before I give them a call.
Yeah, definitely. I'm already in, so I don't know if it works or not. It doesn't make sense for me to go for the toppest of the top dashers. I mean, I hit top dasher and I'm happy with where I'm at.
Yeah, that's
right. Well, that's why I'm going for 100, because of the theory that's been put out by Sensei and everybody in that market and that Discord. So I want to give that a fair shake, because I'm basing my information off of doing this last year at 70 to 73% for 2 or 3 months. And,
that's a bottom top dasher.
Yeah.
Bottom top. That's an oxymoron, isn't it? Like a bottom top dasher. So hey, let me ask KF and Levi something. So KF,
okay,
what is your acceptance rate right now on DoorDash?
42.
Okay, Levi, what's yours on the apps? Whatever apps you run, what's your acceptance rates?
Well, I mean, I don't believe in acceptance rates on any app I run, so mine's like 18% on Spark, and like I think it's like 10% on DoorDash, but I ain't ran DoorDash in like a month. So
okay, Joe, what's your acceptance rate? Hold, Joe's trying to show us. I can't. 33. Okay, and he's got a nice 5.0. Nice job on the customer rating, sir.
Pedro, here's the thing, though, is that if you're taking $2.50 orders, you're probably driving in upwards somewhere from a half a mile to at least 2 miles, right? So my thing is that I'm looking at dollars to miles ratio, because I think a lot of times, even though different markets will have different types of like, hey, top dashers are doing really good versus people who are cherry picking, right? I think that dollars to mile ratio and how you maintain that, I think, plays a significant role in your profitability. Now, I know that there are other variables that are outside of that. So this is not like a one-size-fits-all type of like, I think I have it all figured out. But yeah, I do think that how many miles you're putting on versus how many dollars you're being paid and compensated for, I think is a big, big pillar of profitability. And I think that plays a role in every single market and is a universal thing that everybody's looking at. And when you talk about no tip, no trick 2.0, I think that's a huge portion of it. When these guys are not taking $2 orders, it's because they're basically saying, look, my time is worth X amount of dollars. And if you don't fit that category, that protocol, then I'm not going to do business with you. And I think that's an important thing that's really empowered the community and given all of us an opportunity to just reevaluate the decisions we're making on the road and how much we're able to maintain in terms of income coming in and maintaining profitability after taxes. Because, mind you, depreciation, guys, if I'm not mistaken, is around, 54 cents a mile to 59 cents a mile? That's what the United States government considers depreciation.
56 and a half, something like that. Yeah, it's somewhere in that range. Yeah.
I heard it's going to 60% or 60 cents.
60 cents. So you could say roughly somewhere between 55 to 60 cents. We'll just say somewhere around there, right? So when I think that when you're factoring in your profitability and looking at how you're doing in terms of new drivers, like everybody here is a familiar driver. That's probably why we're following each other's channels, or we're kind of at least on your channel, Pedro. But what about the new guys that are saturating our market right now? How do we stay ahead of the curve? And I think in terms of empowering each other with information, good decision making, giving each other tips and saying, hey, man, you over there in Tennessee, like, how are you rounding out your trips, dog? If you're multi-apping, like, what are you doing? Like, do you have any types of just things that you're looking for in terms of filtering out or vetting out orders that make no sense? I think those things can be universal to every market. And I think the more things that we identify that are universal to every market, the more we find common ground on helping each other, empowering each other, and getting each other to elevate our performance, and thus providing better customer service, thus reinforcing the gig economy and making sure that we have job security.
Listen, I mean, you just why don't you can you make a video for me tomorrow? I'm just make a video on my channel. You said it better than I could, right? Like I think you're right. Like I think at the end of the day, and I try to do this, but sometimes I get sidetracked and I get petty, or I get in my feelings.
No, Pedro. It turns out that you're just human after all, brother.
Well, I know, right? Human. Some people think I'm not. Yeah. I'm not a robot, guys. Trust me, I'm not a robot.
No, but listen. We all have a perspective in terms of, because we're passionate about this, because either we're doing this part-time 15, 20 hours a week and it means something to us, or we're doing 40, 50 hours a week and it means even more to us because it's a backbone of our lifeline, right? Because we have families out there. We're single or whatever the case is. But my thing is this. The more that we empower each other, the more that we basically elevate the standard of service, elevate performance, elevate what we're doing in terms of crunching. Listen, when I heard the guy talking about 4 orders in 1 hour, I was like, yo, dog, I want to get on that guy's level, because I ain't on that level yet, dog. Like, I'm not on that level. But the thing is, because of watching your channel and because of listening to these other gentlemen on the panel with me right now, hey, man, I'm able to take these things and implement them tomorrow, which means that customers are going to benefit from what you guys are talking about tonight. So the impact, the ripple effect that we can have on each other, I think that we're human beings, and we can be petty sometimes, and we can be who we are, and that's just what we are. We're not angels. We don't profess to be. But the more that we create content, that we empower each other and elevate the game and elevate the standard and the expectation of service, the more that we're creating our job security, the more that we're putting dollars and cents into our pockets, into our families' pockets. And I think it's an important thing. And Pedro, you're kind of the catalyst. You're doing these things, dog.
No, I get it. I'm wanting to see the problem. This is the catalyst, whatever. The problem is I'm on here every freaking day. So it's just,
like
no, it's not a problem.
It's not a problem.
I'm not complaining. What I'm saying is I'm on here every day.
There's thousands of people that lose their mind if you weren't.
It's just like I'm just feeding, it's just all that. So Tony, if you want to unmute and jump in, my friend, I see you.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to just mention that I'm probably just going to do top dashers this month to qualify for next month, and then finish next month the way that if you want to be a top dasher, cherry picker, whatever, doing the last 4 to 5 days of orders.
Right.
And then that'll be it for me, because I don't use DoorDash enough to even waste my time doing that.
No, I hear you. I know you're definitely the rideshare. That's where your bread and butter is. So for you, you're going to be losing some income possibly if you do too much of that, and that's not good.
It's really about getting that big bag, because those orders come whether you're top dasher
and
or
not. I will apply for that and hopefully get that large order program. And then the other point I wanted to make, and then I'll either mute until you got something to ask me, or
gotcha.
Let you wrap up the panel, is I've been thinking about this customer service thing, and I know that everybody's got their own opinion of customer service, but angry at somebody who doesn't tip. Isn't it better customer service for you providing that person a customer service by not accepting their order and letting somebody who won't be frustrated take it?
You know what? I don't. Let me, Levi and Joe and KF. What are your thoughts on what Tony just said?
Listen, I think that the most important thing that we could do is let customers get matched up with whoever is the best fit for that order, okay? So we all have to decide for our personal standards, our boundaries, and then also, too, like your schedule, your direction. There's so many things that are going to factor into each decision that you're making in every order that you're accepting, right? I think that the best thing we can do, like you said, for customer service is, hey, man, that's not going to be an order that I'm going to be best positioned, either because I'm not interested in it, because I don't want to drive it, it's too far away, it doesn't make sense with what I'm doing at that moment in time, or with the area of town that I'm in or going. So I think he's right. Like, hey man, best customer service is not taking it. Don't take it, so that somebody better suited for that order can take that order, thus making sure that customer is satisfied, thus making sure that they might order again on said platform.
Also, it's doing what's right for our customer rating. You know what I mean? I've got a 5-star customer rating, and what I preach to all the other new dashers I see out there is you keep that rating high by not taking the no-tip orders, right? Because the people who don't tip, we've heard it a million times from all of us, are the same people who are right on there to text you right away, hey, where's my order, what's going on? Or the same people who steal orders, or just because they feel like it's funny, hey, I'm going to give this guy a 1-star. They don't take into consideration that it actually affects the people out here doing this. You know what I mean? So you just stay away from those orders, and your customer ratings stay good. I mean, in my experience.
Yeah, I think that we're still part of like an ever-growing kind of like still kind of in its infancy stage of this economy, and I think that we're creating the standard of service on our end as drivers in terms of the fact that we are independent contractors. So what that means is the more times that we're declining these no-tip, no-trip orders that just don't make sense for almost anybody, but at least for yourself, it doesn't make sense for you, then you're filtering out some of this where these people eventually are going to get the point, listen, I can't, my order's not getting fulfilled, or it's taking too long, or it's just not getting accepted altogether. Whatever the case is, people are going to start understanding that in this economy that you have to compensate service, okay? And at the end of the day, a little $2, $3 tip, I'll take those. I'll compensate a little bit on miles because, to be fair, like if I have a regular job, guys, I'm driving a couple of miles to and from my job every day, so I got to give a few miles a little bit every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't just take, oh, it's got to be a $5 tip or more. No, I've shown on camera multiple times. I've delivered some non-tips. I've taken some 425s when it's slow, going a mile or two all day. Somebody throws me a couple bucks. Hey, I'm grateful for that. Like, that's cool. Like, it's all good. The thing, I'm not gonna knowingly take a tip. I'm not gonna knowingly take an offer that doesn't have a tip. For me, that's just setting up for a bad experience on their end and mine. So
exactly. And I think too, like on down hours, like here in Austin, like the 3 to 6 p.m. is like a slow period. So the type of order that I'm going to take in that hour period, that bracket, if I'm going all day, if I'm doing like a full 10-hour day, I'm going to kind of adjust my approach in that time because it's a little bit slower, and I need to loosen up a little bit and be willing to take a little bit, right? But you know, those peak hours, hey man, I'm gonna look at that dollars to mile ratio because I got to manage the gas tank and what I have available to me, those resources.
Yeah. Let me read this comment real quick. Real Talk with Roy says, you can't empower a community, so he's talking to me, when you degrade a large number of them by how they choose to do their work. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely have an opinion on drivers that take orders with no tips or ones that beg for tips. For sure, I definitely do. And I know Roy hates non-tippers. He's openly admitted it. He actually takes soda bottles. When he works at Domino's, he has a soda bottle. He'll shake the soda if it's a non-tip order. So, I mean, I don't know what Roy's trying to get at here, but I mean, that's not a good delivery driver.
Here's the one thing I would wonder is I'm wondering who's degrading a large number of drivers.
I am. I'm degrading a large number, but that's from the guy that shakes customers' food. So, I mean.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So I'll say this.
I mean,
Pedro, forgive me for talking over the conversation. So I apologize. I've just been waiting to talk to you for so long, dog.
It's all good, dude. It's all good.
So here's the thing. I don't have a channel. I don't have any channel. I've never been on. I don't have any presence online whatsoever. I've been following you.
I think you need one.
What's that?
I think you need one.
Hold up. I'm going to bring Roy in. There he is.
So here's the thing. All of you guys are like the pros that I've been kind of looking at. I'm noticing some names here. All these guys on this panel, it's either I feel like I've recognized them or I've seen them in chat or something like that. But my thing is this, man. I don't think that you degrade anybody, Pedro. I think that you're passionate and you have opinions, and that's your personality, and that's okay. I would love to create a channel and partner up with you and do videos with you, whatever the case is. I've been looking for a long time to be able to see these guys, man. These excuse my language. I'm sorry. I'm just excited.
Roy's about to drop some F-bombs, so you're just warming Roy up.
No. I'll try to keep it clean.
Listen, man. You know, everybody's welcome on this channel, and Roy knows what I'm talking about because I know.
Yeah.
You know, Roy knows what I'm talking about.
Let me explain that comment. It wasn't strictly at Pedro. There is many channels that come on here and degrade drivers on a regular basis, calling them clowns. You know, and like I said, it's everybody's personal opinion. Call them whatever you want. It's your choice. But if you're trying to bring a community together, if you're trying to teach these people a way of doing it in a better way, your way, or whatever the case may be, you can't call them clowns. You can't call them retarded or whatever the case may be, because they choose to do their business the way they do it. Whether they're new or whether they're old school. If they're old school and they choose to do this way, non-tippers, more power to them. That's their choice. If they're new, they haven't learned, you're never going to teach them by degrading them, calling them bad names, you know, calling them out, saying you're the reason why we're not making money is because of people like you. All you're doing is degrading them at that point. And when you start to degrade people, people look at you in a certain way and say, you know what, this guy's just being a dick. I don't even want to deal with him. Why would I want to listen to him?
Listen, I think the only thing
that, yes, I am the one. I do not take non-tip orders. I don't. My W-2 job, when he said I shake up sodas and stuff, yes, I'm a dick because I have no choice. I have to take these orders.
I know. Hold on, Roy. Can I push back on you a little bit?
Yes, so free.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. Okay, I do. I get it because I'm guilty. Like I get it. You bringing up a good, very valid point, but I also think we have to remember, like, to me at least, and this goes to what KF was saying earlier, and actually what Joe was saying, right, as well, and Tony, right? Tony was the one that started this, I think, Driven Dad. So isn't it better? Shouldn't we just allow customers or drivers that want to take the low ones, and leave the good ones for whoever wants to take the good ones? Because, you want that experience to be matched, right? Because I'll tell you this. If you're my Domino's driver and I got $10 cash tip for you, but you shook my soda, I'm pissed off, right? So there's a difference there. I'm not going to shake up your soda.
What's the difference? Because I'm not going to shake up your soda. If you got a cash tip or a cash order, there's a difference. I'm not going to shake your soda up. Also,
but you don't know.
I haven't
put that karma out there at all.
No, I only work. You guys got to remember, as a Domino's driver, I only work within a 2-mile radius of the store. So I know every customer that I deliver to, because I deliver 5, 6, 10, 12 times to the same customer within a month's time. So I know who tips and who I don't tip. If I go to Pedro's and he throws me a cash tip, I'm going to remember Pedro because Pedro hooked me up with a cash tip. Pedro ain't going to get his shit shook up. He's not going to get it. I'm talking when I shake up somebody's soda or whatever the case may be, these are the ones that they don't tip on a regular basis. We're talking $80 pizza orders they don't tip. And I do this on a regular basis because I deliver to the same people 10, 12, sometimes 20 times a month, and they choose not to tip. So there's a little bit of a difference there when it comes to that. And I'm forced to take non-tips. If I could at Domino's say, hey, non-tipper, I don't want to take them like I can with DoorDash, guess what? Nobody would have a shook up soda. But
let me ask you. So why are you spending so much time with Domino's? Because is it just in your area that Domino's is kind of where you have to anchor down to be able, like, are you not able to make money on the other apps in terms of Uber Eats?
No. The reason I do Domino's is because I had first of all, I had to have a W-2 to get my car. Because a long story short, I was homeless. I lost my job with Lyft because I caught a case. So there's a whole story behind it. So I was homeless. I had, my car had to have a W-2 job. So I love to deliver. I love to deliver.
My thing. I think my thing is this, guys. There's a lot of ways.
Hold on. I don't want to skim over what Roy just said. Roy says he loves to deliver. I believe that. I believe it. He has more total trips than I do, right? Like he's done Uber, Lyft, right? But the only thing I'll push back at you is like, you only love to deliver to people that tip you. So we're the same person, Roy.
Well, yeah,
you see what I'm saying though, right?
Oh, like, I understand what I'm saying because I'm the same way as you. I don't believe putting my life and my property on the line for some cheap son bitch. I don't believe in that. I believe, hey, I'm going out there, I'm doing you a service. I put my life and my property on the line every day. You need to show appreciation for that. But at the same time, you won't catch me on my channel calling people clowns because they choose to do it their way. You don't ever see me doing that. I won't agree with them, but but I'm not going to sit there and try to degrade them because I don't know their. We've been over this. I don't know their situation. Same with me. I was homeless. I would have took $3 orders if it meant I didn't have to eat out of the garbage can.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. What's affecting you more right now in your day in, day out? The inability to vet out these non-tip orders, which we can all do, and basically, you know, or is it theft occurring within drivers within our platforms that are stealing orders and canceling out or unassigning orders after they go to these places and pick these up because some of these restaurants still have these little side castles where they can just basically just pick orders out and just do whatever. I don't know what's going on in your cities, but theft is one of the biggest things that affects me in my market more than anything, because I'll tell you right now, the people that are not tipping, there's a huge contrast. There's the $250 and the $350 orders, and then there's the orders that clearly, because of dollars to miles, have tips added to them, right? So my thing is this: there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. If you want to take a lot of $250 orders and that's what works for you and your personal boundaries and your car, whatever, your miles, it's your business. I'm not sure about the shaking things, Roy. You might be a little bit of a meanie there, but I'm sure you're a good guy.
No. He's not a little bit, bro. Roy's he gonna mess up.
Roy, you shouldn't be shaking things, Roy. Now I love you, buddy. So I'm just saying I don't know you, so I'm not trying to put you on blast, but all I'm saying is this: there's a lot of ways to handle this situation, and if somebody feels like $2.50 orders, like I've heard people say, like, "Hey, that's my version of customer service." That's fine. The real clowns are the drivers who are stealing orders and costing us inefficiency and time.
I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, I think right? I think we could. Yeah, if you're stealing, like that's
spread the word. Spread the word to these restaurants that are, when you go to pick up a food order and you see that these drivers could just readily pick up orders, whatever, go to the front counter and tell them how to make sure that drivers confirm that order so that there's a paper trail, dog, so that people can stop stealing orders out from underneath us and costing us time, and then having to get on Uber Eats and get a measly $3 payment because we're like the third driver to show up to go pick up Jenny's whatever Panera order.
Yeah, that totally falls on the restaurants. I feel you on that because I've never had it happen to me personally, but I see, you know, when you have your pickup, 20 feet away from your counter, shit, a stranger could walk, a homeless guy could walk in there and just grab an order, say, "Hey, I'm here to pick up."
Here's my question to you guys.
But that falls on the restaurant, man. Yeah, that totally falls on the restaurant.
You get back what you put out.
No, and I agree, but my thing is like, okay, so in terms of what's affecting as a driver, like the no tip, no trip thing, we can all get on board with, but like, how do we make sure that restaurant, because I don't know about you guys, but the only way, because Uber and DoorDash are not going to help us stamp out theft. They're going to basically create the platform, they create the protocol, and then essentially restaurants are hopefully on board with this honor system. Like, I don't know if y'all been to Panera or if you've been to like Cava or some of these other places like Jason's Deli where you're like, dog, these orders are readily acceptable. What's that?
Sorry,
and I'm going to say this about Pedro. Pedro, I've always said that a lot of people aren't tipping because of the service they receive. And Pedro has been one of the best examples of this. How many times have we watched Pedro get an order that's excuse my language, that's jacked up, but he's tipping $15-20? How many customers do you think will go through that? Pedro does it as an experiment. But let's say you're the common man like me. How many times do you think I'm going to go through that 10, 15 orders that are always messed up before I say, you know what? Why should I tip? I don't get what I'm supposed to get anyways. So I might as well just wait and get my fucked up order and not even worry about tipping. So he's been a perfect example of that, that's one of the reasons I feel that a lot of people don't tip anymore is because of the lackluster service, people forgetting stuff. They just don't care about the customer's food, throwing it on the ground. So at that point, I don't want to tip you. If I get my food cold or if I get 3 things missing out of my food all the time, after a point, I'm going to say, screw the tip. I'm going to get a fucked up order anyways. I might as well just do it for free, Yeah. So
I'm going to go back and edit this. And when Roy just said the line, Pedro's a perfect example. And I'm just going to stop the tape right there. And then I'm going to put it on a loop on a short tomorrow. And it's going to run for like 5 minutes. And I'm just going to...
Roy, we're going to hold you to it, Roy. We're going to hold you to it, buddy.
Listen, I see that point. But for me, what up, Hannibal? I see you. What up, GigWise? What up, guys? Las Vegas. Glenn. For me, I don't. And I get your point because most consumers haven't done gig work, right? Most customers aren't also dashers, right? That's, I think we all can agree on that. But if I don't get the right amount of sauce packets or there's no cheese on my Whopper, that's not the driver's fault. And I know that. So I'll still continue to tip. But it is funny because I've had ones that one of the better orders I got delivered, which was like, I don't know, 8 months ago, was a Taco Bell. I didn't tip the girl in the app. I gave her like, I think a 10 or a 20 in person. And that's the order. That's one of the top 3 orders I got that was correct and or on time. And there was 0 tip on it. So it's kind of ironic, right? Like, it's just kind of like weird because I'll tip $10, $15. And there are times I don't get my food. I miss a drink. The dasher was just like, I don't know, high or whoever. Like, it was in, and I tipped them great. And then the time I don't tip is when I get everything perfect. So it's just kind of like a mixed bag. But I still tip because of the value I know they're providing. I want to be lazy. I don't want to go get it. So I'm tipping not for what I think the restaurant's going to do. I'm tipping the driver for their time. You know what I'm saying? I think we can all relate to that because we all do this for a living, you know. But
so let me ask this. Like, as a dasher, if you deliver an order to a good tipper and they message you, this happened to me tonight, right? I had a $9 order that went up to $28. And the customer messaged me and said, hey, I'm missing my salad and my side of broccoli. Well, how much service do you guys provide after that? What I did is I send them a message and say, hey, I'm really sorry about that. They gave me the order as a sealed bag. What I'm going to do is contact support on my end. I suggest you do it on your end as well. And I'm sure DoorDash will make it right for you. Then I go ahead and I contact support and I let them know exactly what happened. So in a way that helps cover my ass, right? And in another way, it lets the customer know, because when I contact support, that support puts me on hold and calls the customer to confirm. And then the customer knows that, hey, this dasher actually reached out to support and had them call me. So it's just another step as like a better dasher, things we can do to better the experience for the customer and not have us look so bad in a downlight. You know what I mean?
Levi, chime in here, Levi. I see you up there. You're like a robot. You're so still. I don't know what's going on.
I got a question in my head that I've been trying to ask you.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to see what you would say. So, like, is the no tip, no trip? Like, do you know how Spark works? Do you watch Spark content? Not really.
I know a little bit with how it works, but I've never done one, so I can't really speak on it. No.
So my question is, like, basically on Spark, like with the shopping orders in my market, you get a lot of them that have no tip, but they literally leave a little box that says the customer may tip later. Yeah. But in all my experience, I've never got a tip. But say this order is $30 for 2 miles. And you can get it done in 45 minutes. Do you take that, or are you telling me you ain't taking it because there's no tip?
Well, with Spark, if I know the customer's ordering pattern and what the options they have are different, I'm going to take a $30 2 miles. Absolutely. Yeah. If I can do it in 45 minutes, yeah, that's good money for me. But
that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's a different.
Nobody's taking no 250 order.
It's a different app. Yeah, it's a different app. So that cash flow, I can justify my time for that. I can't justify spending 15, 20 minutes on, which is what most orders average out to be for most of us, right? We can do 3 an hour. So, you know, I'm not spending that to make $3. No way. Right. It's not worth my time. But I can justify $30 for 45.
And that's what do you guys have a minimum? Like, what's your minimum order on a DoorDash / Uber Eats that you'll take? So, like, for me, anything under $6, I'm not taking. I just can't afford that time because, like I said, $3. But is there a minimum that you guys subscribe to?
Well, for me, it's just whatever makes sense for my situation. I mean, if I'm going in a direction already and it's, 0.7 miles for a 475, I'll take it.
Okay.
And that leads me to,
Roy, go ahead. I think you were going to say something. Go ahead.
And that leads me to my next thing. It's always been money to miles. So, that's how we've always worked. It's like, okay, what is your money to mile tolerance? Like mine, for example. Like, I'll take a $3 order. I've taken $3 orders, but it's a half a mile away. That don't take me jack for time. So I'll do that because it's only half mile away. I'm still within my main zone, scooping up orders. But for $3, why not go take 5 minutes and drop off for $3? That's $3 for less than a mile. So it's always been money to miles for me. So even if I had the ability to see that, okay, it's 1.5 miles, $6.50 no tip, I'm going to take it anyway, just because it meets my mile to money ratio. And that to me is more important, because at the end of the day, that's how you become efficient. You like Pedro saying, you got to get your profits. that means I'm still making a good profit off a mile and a half, making $6 versus saying, oh, fuck, no tip, he can go without. But then I just lost an extra $5 a mile there.
Well,
Yeah.
You know?
Let me chime in real quick, KF.
My bad.
So this is where it goes to me, where I say market. It's kind of market fluid. Because for me, Roy, I look at, if I take that 3 for 1 mile, while the mile the money's good, and you can make a couple bucks profit on that. Maybe it only takes you 5-6 minutes. That's a good time frame. You can be efficient. That's all true. But for me in my market, this is where I'm willing to gamble a little bit, because I feel like if I take the $3 for a mile, I'm missing out on what I know is coming literally 2 minutes later, which is going to be a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or an 8. So I'm costing myself money is how I look at it. And it's a little bit of a gamble because, it's not guaranteed. Maybe the phone doesn't go off at all, right? And I could have made that quick $3. But in my experience, I'm like, I just can't justify it, because I know the probability of a better one coming right behind it's pretty high. So I'm willing to take that small little risk to make a couple extra bucks,
Yeah, and I feel that, and that's where knowing your market comes from. Like, I'll take that $3 example. I was sitting in front of the McDonald's. The house for McDonald's was directly behind the McDonald's. I could have jumped the fence and gave them their food. So that's where knowing your market is. Yeah, like for you, it might not work that way, but I can look at my app and say, okay, damn, this house is right behind McDonald's. That's nothing to me. I can I walk in McDonald's. My McDonald's, where the zone that I work in, my McDonald's is on the ball. I walk in there every time my order is ready. I don't have to wait at this McDonald's because they're on the ball. So the minute I walk in, boom, take 2 minutes to jump the fence and hand them their food, and I'm back on there. And I'm getting orders while I'm doing that. I'm getting DoorDash sending me orders while I'm doing that. So that just comes down to knowing your market, and that's what it's all about. Let me ask you
a question.
Gig Lebowski, I've been watching this dude's content like Pedro. I'm sorry, I'm stoked, man. Gig Lebowski just said what's up to everybody.
Yeah, that's Gig Lebowski is cool, man. Before we get to Driver Sensei in here, everybody get your ears ready. Driver Sensei comes with that hot energy. I love it. Also, I want to give him his flowers. I've been seeing your traveling vlogs. Fantastic stuff, man. But Roy, listen, let me ask you a question. Oh, look, he's got a soda bottle. So this is a good segue. Ready? Okay. So if you take that $3 going a mile, are you shaking that soda bottle? Because there's no tip on that. Are you going to shake that one or not?
No, I can't shake that because first of all, it's a McDonald's order. It's already in the bag. I can't shake it. But then again, there's a difference. I chose to take it. I have no choice at Domino's. I'm forced to take it. So there's a difference. There's a difference when you're forced to do something versus not being forced. If I make the decision to say I'm taking the $3, I'm going to make $3 for this less than a mile trip, I made that decision. When I get handed an order at Domino's, it's like, fuck, I have to take it. So I'm stuck.
Yep.
But
Driver Sensei, what's up, man?
So you're saying Roy's saying he has control.
There he is.
Hold on, guys. Listen. Hold on. So I think Tony's trying to say something. Driver Sensei. So hold up. Driver Sensei, come in real quick, and then Tony, you go after him.
Hey, look, I know everybody's market is completely different. Just like each one of y'all was saying, like for like tips, I'm gonna tell y'all, I do Spark on the side. After I ensure that business is open and stuff, I go and I do my Spark at 7 o'clock. My first order came in at 7:02, which was like $28 for 3 miles. I literally got done for the end of the day because my limit is $200, right? That's my daily limit. Once I hit $200, I'm done. I did $200 and 6 drop-offs today. All right, that's my market. I have a small market. I sometimes get orders that have no tips, right? But I know because I'm going to 307 Henderson Road or I'm going at 521 Lincoln Avenue, I know that those people are continuous. It's either elderly people that appreciate when you come, bring it to their door. Also with customer service, I've worked with generals, colonels, and so forth. I know how to interact with them. When I leave customers, right, I leave them a message every single time. Is a copy and paste message that's already there. It says front door delivery. Hopefully my portion of the delivery was smooth, fast, and Metro expectation or Metro 5-star expectation dash the driver Sensei. That lets them know that, hey, my order is here. Also, I call customers when they have cold stuff outside. I say, hey, what's going on? Hey, this is the driver Sensei. Just letting you know, I just completed your order. I wanted to give you a call because you have some cold items and I don't want stuff to go bad. That's relaying a sense of emotion to them that I personally cared about them. Do I give a crap about the expiration date on their milk? No, I grabbed the first milk there was, but I gave them
That's just good customer service.
I checked the milk, but I give them a sense that I personally devoted my attention to their order, and I don't want their order to be out there. I get cash tips probably more so than I do on my actual in-app tips. And like I was saying, I showed Pedro this. My last order tonight, when I was about to get my sub, was $46.20 for 2.4 miles for 15 items. And that's a goal. I sent Pedro the screenshot of just my daily orders. All my stuff is $20 and up. Yeah. And a lot of that's not even including tips. My tips take 24 hours to roll in. So I hit my $200 just on pure base pay. This ain't, Driver Sensei is really friendly. Let me give him a tip. Because sometimes I see a $5 tip in here, their wife or whoever comes to the door and give me $10. Or Miss Susan yesterday, she gave me an extra $10 because I heard about, how she just had surgery, how her dog was sick, how her next door neighbor. I spent that 6 minutes and got a $10 tip just for being a good rep of the business that I'm doing and providing great customer service.
Yeah. Well, Driver Sensei, before we get to what Tony was going to ask, do you think there's differences in a Spark app and how the customers order and that experience versus DoorDash and Uber?
Yes. Well, because I look at, like I said, I do DoorDash. My DoorDash is hot on weekends, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays at night or after school, right? So sometimes parents are still at work. Now their kids are going back to school. They're like, what do you want? Mommy, I'm hungry. Yeah. Hey, we use the app. Food comes to the door. The parents ain't worried about going back and leaving tips because it's left at the door. You're not making that face-to-face interaction. On the weekends, you got parents getting ready to go out. They about to go club. They forgot to cook food, or they probably don't know how to cook food. So I'm making all of these deliveries to the houses while their parents is out until 2 or 3 in the morning before they got to get back home. Mm-hmm. So I look at that as people really don't tip. It's like when you order an Uber for another person. You really don't tip if it's for another person. Right? Yeah. If I'm inviting a girl over to my house, I'm not going to give a tip on the Uber for her. Now, if you did me a great favor and we had a good conversation, I might give you a $5 or $10 tip. But just because Samantha's coming over for 2.5 hours and then I'm kicking her out, I ain't tipping for that.
Hold on.
He's a dog.
Are you tipping Samantha when she leaves, though?
She comes when she leaves out.
I guess
Tony, hold on. Tony, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still
all right,
here.
So I think you want I think you wanted to ask a question. So what was that, if you remembered?
Yeah, I was going to ask Roy. So you still agree that there is some control with DoorDash?
Well, yeah, I never said you had total no control. You have some, of course. Of course,
I'm just poking at you, man.
Yeah, well, no, I feel you, and I've always said that independent contractors are glorified employees at the end of the day, because at 90% of that, your work is controlled by that app. You can be fired from the app. You can be fired by the customer. You can be, you're given the opportunity to make money. You're not going out there and making your own money. I've always said a hooker is more of an independent contractor than we are, because she can set everything the way she wants it. We have to listen to an app. So yes, you have maybe 10% control because you can hit accept and decline. But other than that, yeah, you got that kind of control. But for the most part, you're still at the mercy of the app. You're still at the mercy. One day you wake up, guess what? You don't have your job anymore. So a true independent contractor wouldn't have to worry about that. If you were a true independent contractor.
Sure. Like I just did.
Yoast.
That's not Yoast. That's Nova Dasher, man.
Oh, my bad.
You're good.
He called me Hannibal, and then he called him someone else. You all horrible names. You need like a
listen. Why you gotta come at why you gotta come at the brown guys like that, man? Come on, listen.
Damn. Oh. Hey, Roy, I have a quick question for you, Roy. Would you agree that we have a little bit more control, though, when we start multi-apping and actually get simultaneous apps working for us so that we can actually try and combine and stack orders across platforms at the same time, thus giving us a little bit more creative control over kind of like how we're working, or how I'm working, I should say?
Well, see, first of all, I'm not allowed to multi-app because I have a criminal record and I can't do certain things. So,
okay.
But at the same time, even when you're multi-apping, it's an accept and decline thing. Yes, you can stack all the orders you want. It's based on accepting and declining it. So you're still it's still like it's just another version of DoorDash. Uber Eats is just another version of DoorDash. You still can accept and decline, but at the end of the day, if the customer doesn't like you, Uber Eats don't like you, they can still get rid of you, regardless. So at the end of the day, it's still like DoorDash. You're just doing it on multiple platforms, accept and decline, accept and decline.
Yeah.
So, and that's my opinion on that. I've never said we had total no control, but 90% is controlled by the apps. Without the apps, we make no money, period. If it wasn't for them, we make nothing. And I've always been the advocate of people bitching and complaining. This is my thing. I want somebody to answer this for me. If you cannot go out to a W-2 job that pays you $40 an hour, then why the hell are you complaining that you're making $40 an hour on DoorDash? Because if you don't have this,
hold up, Roy. I don't see anybody complaining about making $40.
Well, everybody complains. Everybody complains. I've seen it. They're too slow.
Yeah, but they're not complaining about making $40. They're not complaining about that.
Anyways, sorry. Let's get back to the topic. I just wanted to poke at you, Roy. I didn't mean to
no,
spin
it's all
it
good.
off.
You guys, that's why
it's all good, guys.
I have no problem putting myself out there because I have strong beliefs and everybody knows that. And it's hard for me to get on these panels sometimes because people I know there's a really rough perception of me that this dude's just a dick and he just wants to pick fights. And then there's also the fact that people say, "Oh, he doesn't even DoorDash." Okay, yes, I DoorDash. Just because I chose 4 months off because it's 125 degrees out here doesn't mean that I don't have a word on what happens with DoorDash and all that shit. So,
Yeah, for sure. And then I just had one thing to say about the Spark thing. My opinion is if it makes money sense to you, tip don't matter. Spark covers no tip orders for you. And if it still doesn't make sense and they're not covering the tip, then don't take it.
I will say, as a Spark driver, you do have a little bit more control because I was on aisle A8, section number 18. They wanted DiGiorno 3-meat pizza. They didn't have it, so I got them this new DiGiorno crescent crust. Yo, I don't know what it is. I was about to buy me one. So I got control. I'm letting you know. That's how I got that extra tip. Because I told them, hey, I was about to steal your crescent pizza because I don't know what's like a Pillsbury pizza. I've never seen this. So I'm in control. I'm in control.
Okay, so I'm going to take my notepad out right now because the Sensei's talking. And when the Sensei starts talking, I got to start taking notepads, ladies and gentlemen. I got to find out what this man's doing right here. Notes writing it down, baby.
I'm gonna go so you can bring. I'm gonna go so you can bring other people on. I'll still be around.
Gotcha, man. Appreciate it.
Nice talking to you,
guys. I gotta check out. I gotta be to my W-2 in the morning. It's been good, Pedro. I sent you a text.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, hold up. Hold on. Is that Joe? That's Joe. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, hit me up. I want to get with you because we'll talk over text though. I won't
for sure.
Thanks, man. Nova, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, congrats on 18K deliveries.
Thanks, man. Yeah, 18,000.
That's awesome. Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna come in firing real hot now. So, what do you think you have control when do you feel like you're under control when you work DoorDash specifically? What do you say?
I would say I feel like I have 80% control because there is that 20% of if they don't send me anything, then I'm just not doing anything. You know what I mean? But when they do send me, for example, somebody asked me when I posted I had 18,000 deliveries, how many have you declined? And I really thought about it. I'm like, wow, if I'm really selective, which I am, I probably decline over 100,000 orders probher to only have
that's crazy.
So I've taken 18,000 deliveries. Well,
yeah, if your AR is 18%, then you're up into 100,000. Yeah, so.
which is nuts when you think about it.
Nuts. How long have you had DoorDash?
My very first dash was in December of 2018.
Okay,
right around Christmas time.
Okay, a little while. So let me ask you guys. Yeah, put up your stat. Can you guys tell us? We're going to start with KF. Go to Levi, Nova, Driver Sensei, and Driven Dad. Okay. So what do you guys on the platform? What platform do you have the most deliveries, or give me total lifetime deliveries on all platforms? Can you guys, if you don't have your phones, you can just say it. Go ahead. We'll start with whoever's ready first.
Can you guys see that?
How many trips though, Sensei? I need to know that.
So I see yours, Nova. So
I haven't done DoorDash in a while. I don't even know if I could get in my
No,
DoorDash.
okay. So hold them up and then tell us, because
How many
we're not going to be able to see it. So you got to
how
announce
many
it as well.
trips do you have on Spark though, Sensei? We need to know that.
About 7.
7.
Yeah. What's
7
wrong
what?
with that? Is that bad?
7 what?
7 trips.
Hold on. No, he's clowning. Listen. Driver Sensei has done more than 7 trips on Spark. There's no way.
I only do it part time. Seriously.
Oh, but hold on. You did the point pickup. That was your main.
Point pickup. I have a lot. Spark,
pickup,
I
you have
only
a
do
lot.
it on the side, and I start doing now more Spark than point pickup because it's starting to get a little bit more robust in my area. So I've had Spark for about 2 years now, but I only do it on the side. But I got 100% arrival time perfect, 2% drop rate, 4.8 customer service, and 6% acceptance rate. And my DoorDash is like 3% acceptance rate. I cherry pick like hell.
That's a heavy cherry pick. Yeah.
Hey Pedro, can I jump in here for a second?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So I think before, when I started driving, I was like, I would consider myself a cherry picker, but I don't think I can say that anymore. You know, I'm not looking for that big banger. If it comes, cool, man. I just want to stay active, you know, take some orders, you know, and even with I'm doing a lot more shopping now, and most of those orders have a heavy base pay, and I try not to think about it too much because it just pisses me off that they have the money to have a high base pay, but they choose to keep it at 225, you know, 250, you know, things like that. So like today they got me. I did like a 650 old base pay, and I was like, man, they got me with that one, you know. Like I was you know. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? They probably waited a long time, so it kind of, you know, it evens out, you know, in my mind. But for me, as long as I can do 2-3 orders an hour, for me, my minimum is 625, 3 miles, 3.5 miles. Of course, it depends where it's going, where it's coming from, time of the day, things like that, you know. But if people want to make their money whatever way, it's cool, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I think for me, and I put it in a description of a video this week because I was thinking about that cherry picking, right? Because I think even some top dashers can be cherry pickers a little bit. I'm learning a little. I think we're learning some things, right? So I think for me, I call it selective. You're a selective driver. You know, you're selective. You're selecting things that are good for you, right? You don't have to be a top dasher, cherry picker. You're being selective, making money how you think is fair for yourself, and you're selecting good offers, whatever that means for you in your market. You know, whether it's on Spark like Driver Sensei and Levi are saying, hey, $30 for 45 minutes. I'll do that all day. I'll do $30 for 45 minutes every day of the week, any time of the day, because I know I'll 45 minutes, and then in a 15-minute span, I can knock out another quick one, maybe $6, maybe $8, $10. So then I'm somewhere between $30 and $40 for an hour. I'm golden. That's my perfect range for me. But I think just maybe us calling, you know, we're being selective drivers is maybe a better term now that we're realizing some of these nuances of order selection and what top dasher means for some people in some markets. I still believe in, hey, these $2-3 orders, like you just cannot be profitable if you take too many of those in a week. But I understand some top dashers are doing it still selectively because they're only doing a few, right? So I think we're definitely learning some things. So I'm glad you brought up that cherry picking lingo and kind of how we look at it a little bit.
You know, I also think real quick, I feel like people have a misconception that, you know, because we want to take good offers, that we want to keep the acceptance rating low. I mean, for me, it's low because they're sending me trash. You know, like right now, for me, 19 is kind of high. You know, because today I keep getting good offers that made sense. I'm gonna take them. But if you send me waves of bad orders, like on the day before I hit 18K, it went from 14% to 0 because I kept getting stacked offers that were just garbage. You know, but then by the end of my shift, it went back up to like 14%, 12%, whatever it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm 18 right now.
You know?
Mine fluctuates, but at the end of the day, I wish that was like 100%. If everything looks good, I'll take it. But that's just not my market's not gonna.
Like, and then on the same day, like they kept sending me like a 325 order, and my next order ended up being like an $88 order. You know, so imagine if I took that 325, then I wouldn't. You know what I mean? So it's
I know what
you know, but it's yeah, man. I think I don't. It's not rocket science. You know what I mean? I think as long as people are educated enough, if you're taking $3 order and you're okay with the reasons behind it, like if it's for the acceptance rating or you want to keep the cash flow, cool. You know.
Yeah.
But if you're taking it because you don't know, then that's different.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Tony, what are some of your numbers, man? How many deliveries you got on these apps, if you don't mind sharing, if you can?
All right, so add 1,000 something to my 3,143 because I'm on my second DoorDash account. 5.0 customer, 50% AR at 50% of the way through the project, 92% completion rate. I don't believe they're from the last 100 deliveries on time or early because it only goes up like 1/100% every 5 orders.
My on time and early hasn't changed in over a year. It's been 93% for like a year.
Right. That's because it's going up now that they've given you the decimal points. It goes up or down like by the 100th.
Yeah.
But my main app, Uber, I've got like almost 8,000 total trips on Uber, 499 rating, 98% or 99% on deliveries, on thumbs up, 18% cancellation rate, 26% acceptance rate.
Well, our Ubers are very similar. Levi, how about you? I know you're the Spark. You do a lot of Spark. What are the ratings? I'm not familiar with, but what is I know you said they don't matter, but what do you got?
Mine and Sensei's look pretty normal. That's why I was trying to see how many trips he literally has. But
okay,
he wants to play.
But why do you go over the amount of trips? So this is how I explain stuff. I have a business. I have other things to go on as well, right? So today, my daily goal is $200, right? Because I always think every day, $40 go towards a full gas tank, $20 go towards a sandwich. Even though I don't fill up my gas tank every day, but that's what I do with the additional money.
Hold on, pause. You're eating $20 sandwiches?
I went to Jersey Mike's today. I went to Jersey Mike's today.
Bro, $20 for Jersey Mike's? Damn.
It was. Well, I also tipped. Well, that's including.
Oh, okay. No. Listen, I spend money on food. But...
Dang, it was $16.90. Then I had to get dead. Well, y'all don't tip. Y'all cheap.
I don't tip. I don't tip at Jersey Mike's.
I'm telling you, if y'all ever see me do live, I chip my Waffle House cook and the waiter.
Oh yeah, I do that too.
Waffle House is different. That's okay. That's different.
When I walk in the Waffle House at 2 o'clock in the morning with all the drunk people there, Rail, that's his name. He look at me. He goes 1 or 2. That's what he does. That means I want a single cheesesteak or a double cheesesteak. He make my stuff already on the side. While all the drunk people there.
Listen, I tip as well, and I think you get what you pay for. And there's several places in my market. I walk in, I can go to this particular bar. Let's just say I got my drink waiting for me before my ass hits the bar stool, and that's because I take care of her, right? So like, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Yo, I gotta get out of here, guys. Listen, it's been a good time talking with you. It's been wonderful listening to you, Sensei, and. Bruh, it's good, Pedro, to finally chat with you guys, man. Thank you so much for the homie down. Everybody. It's good listening to y'all, man. Y'all have a good night.
Appreciate you. I want to get back to Levi. I never got to Levi's numbers. So let's Levi, go ahead.
I'll just put it on the screen because some clowns think people lie about their stats. So just throwing it out.
Oh man, it's a white screen.
It's a white. I can't read it. Yeah, I can't read it.
No.
Hold
on.
You only got one of them that's red. That's good.
I got it. What's my
make his screen big, Pedro?
98.024.8.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got 20 acceptance rating.
My acceptance rate's higher than normal, but it's because shopping orders have been just banging in my area, and I mean usually a shopping order is pretty good. It's the curbside that usually suck, but so all I've been doing is like 9, 10, 12 shopping orders a day, so they're usually pretty good.
Let me ask you guys a question because I haven't done Spark yet, but at some point I probably will. I know they have, like you said, the shopping ones or the curbside. Which is more
lucrative?
Yeah, which one's more lucrative overall? The shopping because the pay is higher. The base pay is higher.
Yes, like I said, today I did six deliveries for $200, and my last one was $40. Yeah, I go inside that. I literally took a picture today because I park at the end of the parking lot. I literally have a big shopping cart and a little shopping cart at the end of the parking lot because nobody parks at the end of the parking lot because everybody's too lazy. I park at the end because that's the first I can easily get out. I either pick up my big shopping cart or my small one, walk in there, start my timer, pick up my, sometimes it's 2 items. I had a $38 order for 2 items. Get that stuff, walk to the register. If the line's too long, I ask somebody, hey, excuse me, sir, can I walk up to the register and scan it real quick? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Scan it. Bah, I'm out. Cut the whole entire line just by being polite to somebody in line. And you're in and out.
Let me ask you guys this as well. I'm trying to get some knowledge, right? I know it's market dependent, but in my Walmarts, the one that I would probably get the most offers from that's closest, it's like 90% self-checkout. They have like 1 or 2 lanes open. It's all like, is that what does that not take too much time to cash out? Like, how does that process in your guys' experience? Levi, I'll start with you first.
Not like he said, like on the shopping orders, you just literally go up there and scan a QR code and you just bag your stuff up and take off.
Yeah, because
you don't have to scan individually.
No.
I missed that. On Instacart, when you're scanning the items, on Walmart, it's already just verifying what's already been paid for, and you just bag.
That makes a lot of sense. So they're killing Instacart then, as far as their the way it works. Okay, yeah, wow, nice.
The same technique that's used in Spark is what we're using in our Sam's Club right now. So you can literally walk around the store, scan your items, walk out of the store. We actually have a lane with a little hologram that says Fast Express, and you just walk out.
Scan and go.
Yep, scan and go. I like it better. And curbside has just been a hell for the last few days. My point pickup, I've never seen it get to 20. Today it was 39 orders that were waiting for curbside. It was atrocious in there. I actually called the performance manager of our region to talk to them. Literally, because point pickup calls me and they say, hey, Sensei, we got a few orders. I don't know if you're busy to accept them real quick. I got an order. I get calls all the time, and it's the performance manager. I'm like, no, I can't take it. I looked inside there today. Your employees are not keeping up. I can't convince myself to sit in a car for 30 minutes to wait on one of 2 orders to come for a curbside pickup. I'd rather get my basket, walk in there, start trying to separate skinless chicken breast from Tyson's chicken breast with no skin and understand that, and baby formula, which blows my daggone mind. I'd rather spend time doing that, scan a QR code, get out there, drop it, get my tips, get my my cash tips as well, and with my good base pay that I already know that I have. Now, I don't have time for that. I can't come and run a business and do that stuff and wait. I can't.
That's why I wasn't a big fan of the DoorDash Walmarts that I did, because the wait time, and part of it is I'm extremely impatient. Like when I'm trying to make money, my patient level is very low, and that's my own personal issue with mine. But I just can't sit in my car because 5 minutes seems like 30 to me, and then like 15 seems like an hour, and I feel like I'm wasting or losing money. So like that's why I wasn't a big fan of the Walmart. But some Walmarts are better than others. But overall, I'm just not a Walmart guy. I don't have great experiences there because usually they're understaffed, not clean. I know the prices are great, but like I just can't rock with them like that. And but I'll try it for Spark because there could be some value. It might be some money there. I think Spark is a hot app right now. So
I make more money on Spark through Walmart as an independent contractor than I did as an asset protection manager.
That's wild. I mean, that's wild, man. I mean, that's crazy. But I'm not. Yeah, I can't. I did do a few. I like the DoorDash Target orders. Those are pretty good for me. I use my red card with DoorDash a lot. Like Nova, we've talked about this. Like
dude,
the base
my
pay on
red card's about to expire, man. I gotta get a new one.
Yeah, man. I love the PetSmart. I'll get like 1 to 5 item PetSmarts paying me like $18 going like 5 miles or less. I'm like, what? Like just give me 2 of those an hour and I'm good. Like I don't even need to do nothing else.
You know what's crazy, Pedro? I think people in St. Louis must really love their pets because my PetSmart sucks. Dude, I get nothing but literally crickets, and it's not paying me that much.
Yeah, no, you have to find. So the one that's it's like a local neighborhood. It's in a busy area, but within 1 to 4 miles, there's really awesome neighborhoods with like just real what do you call like between 25 and 45-year-olds, and they got family and kids and a dog or two and like a nice little home. Like It's not rich area, but just nice little neighborhoods, and they love their pets. They tip well. It's a bag of food and a little bit of this or some kitty litter, really easy stuff. And those are some of my best orders, man. I love those. And the PetSmart's really clean and efficient, and their staff. So like anytime I see one of those, like it's usually an automatic accept because they're always really good. So
see, my PetSmart experience is literally the opposite of yours. When I go there, they have no staff. Everything looks a mess, and it usually doesn't pay that much. But
no, I love them. All right, so I want to ask you guys kind of a final little. We got 4 of you guys in here, right? I want to ask you guys a final little question. What do you think? So for those of you that know, we got this Top Dasher cherry picker. Top Dashers can make more. So Tony's testing this out. Several other people, Gig Lebowski's trying it, right? Other people that don't have channels are going to try it to see what their experience is going to be like. What do you guys think is going to happen when we get to the first? After we get like about midway into September. So, people that got Top Dasher status from August, they get September 1st, and then they work it for a couple of weeks. What do you think? What's your best guess? What do you think is going to happen to people that got that Top Dasher status? Levi, you go first.
I think they're just going to realize it ain't what they think it's going to be, and it ain't going to make that big of a difference.
Now, let me say this. Do you think that some people are going to have a positive experience with it?
I mean, what? 1 out of 10, and I feel like for some reason some people are trying to be loyal to these apps, and maybe they're trying to make it seem like they're making a lot of money, but if you really looked at their miles and their, as you say, all the time profits, they really ain't doing it. But they'll boast online, be like, oh man, I'm making all this profit, but they're really not. But they're being loyal to Tony, and not this Tony, but the other Tony. Yeah. And Tony don't even know him. So.
Okay, gotcha. Tony, what do you think might happen? What's your best, going into this, and you're actually doing it? What do you think you're going to feel like in the middle of September?
If it works out the way it's supposedly supposed to, and as long as I get the large order program, I might be putting Uber and Lyft down for just very early mornings, hit the lunchtime with DoorDash all the way through the beginning of dinner. And if not, then I won't. I'll just continue what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
But just one thing that I want to mention, though, as far as like no tip orders, in my first 50% of acceptance, I have only received 2 no tip orders. So that's what 5.
That's low. That's not a lot.
In,
yeah,
right?
That's not a lot. Yeah. Okay. Only 2. That's good. That's good to hear. It's good to hear.
I think that when we decline a lot, we're just passing around a lot of the no-tip orders when we're declining a lot. So it just happens to be a timing thing, I think, on a lot of that. But there are, in my past experience of doing Top Dasher, there are some streaks where you can get batches of no-tip orders and you just get frustrated.
Yeah.
But I haven't had that experience this time yet. But the other thing I wanted to say is shout out to the Driven Mom. It's the day after her birthday.
Yes.
And she's on the same train as Sensei with these $20 sandwiches, because she sent me to Jimmy John's one time and she's like, I want this sandwich. I order. I'm like, $25? What?
For a sandwich. I listen, I spend money on food. Food is my biggest expenditure. It's embarrassing, actually. But
I was like,
for a sandwich,
going
like
to Texas State, Brazil, all you can eat steak instead of Jimmy John's. Like, what?
Shout out to the Driven Mom. Happy belated birthday. Nova, what do you think? What do you think we're going to be? What do you think we're going to be seeing middle of September, and beyond?
I think for people that are doing it, I think it might not be what they think it is, but they're gonna try and justify it. Oh, they're gonna be like, oh, so I did that, so this must be why, And I think that's my biggest issue with a lot of people that are claiming things, because we don't know why. It's a lot of luck, I mean, in my experience, I can get a good order or get a bad order, So I think like you said, it's all about profits. Like you can make a lot of money, but that's not what you're really bringing in at the end of the day.
True, and that, when I have people back on the show, and we're going to be very transparent, and I'll share my numbers. We're going to talk about that. It's going to be okay. Mileage. What was your how much time did you give the app? How long, how much time were you out that week? The mileage. Did you have to spend? Did you have any other kind of odd expenses? Mileage. All that. Whatever. Right. That's the numbers we're going to look at. So.
Yeah. No. And just a side note on that mileage thing. I'm at 50%, 50 trips. I'm averaging just over $1 per mile by accepting everything so far. So it's a time thing that I'm losing out on right now, as far as like 75 cents a mile.
Yeah.
I figured doing it in a Tesla where I get free charging, it's not going to cost me anything other than time. But a lot of people, $1 a mile is their cutoff anyway. So just my experience so far on that.
Good to know. Good to know. Driver Sensei, what do you think, man? Well, first off, have you ever been a top dasher? And what do you think is going to happen to the people going for it when they get to the middle of the month? Do you think they're going to see some better orders?
I used to be a top dodger. I used to dodge all those despicable orders.
Okay.
No, I'm good at it. Like I said, my DoorDash acceptance rate is at 4%. I think I just looked at it. It was at 6%, I think. Probably bumped up. I don't know how. Just like Nova was saying, people will make justifications for it, right? If my goal each week is $800. All right. If I make that $800, I'm going to justify that $800 was achieved. Now, there's a difference if I'm doing, 160 miles a week, or if I'm doing 438 miles in that week. And then you got to also look into, what am I going to be complaining about in about the next 3 or 4 months? That oil change, those tires being worn out, everything that's being worn out because of that $800 goal. So I think it's going to be justification no matter what. But I think in the long run, it's not going to be worth the squeeze. It's going to be good for somebody, right? There's always somebody who's going to be the anomaly, right? There was one person that won a $1.16 billion jackpot out of all the 338 million tickets that were sold. There's only 1 out of 30 people that become a CEO of a company that starts at the bottom. So, people can always make justification. They can always say, well, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. But that's 1 out of 30 people to become a CEO. That's probably one person out of the 40 that do really well going from the bottom all the way to top dasher. But you don't know what is the bottom line. You don't know what expenses they have on the back end. So I think some people go find, they go really look at their balance sheet, and they go realize that they're still negative, and they're going to lose probably that momentum. But it's going to be one that's going to say, wow, I did amazing. I got a $43 order. Somebody has to get it.
Well, no, I think you guys are each bringing up different varying points, but kind of similar. I like that Tony's doing it, which is awesome.
Tony's doing it for all of us.
And the way he's doing it, he's doing it very part-time. He's doing
and
it part-time.
I have no bias on this. I'm not trying to prove anybody right or wrong.
Exactly.
I just want to show what I got in Denver.
Hey, Pedro, real quick, when I was here in Driver Sensei Talk, I think a lot of drivers, me included when I started, I was just seeing dollars, man. I wasn't keeping track of anything. So I feel like a lot of people, when they first start, they just see the dollars, but you gotta think of the miles. The first time I did my taxes, I was like, ooh, man, I gotta be on top of this next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it happened once, it never happened again, because you see the dollars, but when you're working a W-2 job, they do all that for you. But right now it's on you. You know what I mean? So it's I think a lot of new drivers, whenever I see people that are hopping in, make sure you track your miles, make sure you take deductions, because at the end of the day, there's people like, oh yeah, I can just not pay any taxes. It's gonna be a wash. I'm like, yeah, you can do that, but then I feel like if that's what you're going for, then you're not doing something right,
Yep.
But
check out the Solo. Check out the Solo app, y'all. Yeah. Check out Solo. You can check out Stride. You can check out.
There's so many of them, dude.
There's so many of them, but do something, because like Nova's saying, I think a lot of us are just looking at the dollars, chasing the dollar, without having the mindset. We got to realize the type of drivers. There's a lot of different types. Most people that watch this channel, you guys, the people in the chat, kind of understand. You've been doing it a while. You understand what to do. Most drivers don't, right?
Because Uncle Sam is gonna get his, man. He was never in the car with me, but he took my money.
He's gonna get his. Yes.
I think
Creepy
it's like people
Uncle
who get
Sam.
excited about getting a tax return check, right? They're excited to get that tax return check in April, right? Like, oh, I got a $500 check. But those people that's a little bit wiser, they manage their deductions so that $500 actually get invested throughout the year. Because Uncle Sam doesn't give you interest on your income tax check.
Not at all.
All right, accountant. No. Thank you, Janet. Thank you for making me rich, Janet.
And that's, you know, I try to, you know, sometimes I use strong words, the word clown or miserable or scumbag. Like, I do that for effect. Now, while I might feel it sometimes because I'm in my car and I'm like, this sucks. I can't take these $3 orders. Right? You get frustrated. We're all human beings. We've all been there. Now, I show it every day. So that's the difference is it seems like maybe I'm like a little much, right? But I still believe you can't make a good enough profits at the end of the year if you don't know your numbers, if you're taking too many lowball orders, and if you're not tracking and being smart about your mileage and taking care of your automobile. Anybody can make, I believe in most markets, anybody can make $500 a week, $800 a week. I think a lot of drivers, if time isn't an issue and you have a working automobile, can make $1,000 in a week. Now, some might do it in 30 hours, some might do it in 70 or 80, but you can make $1,000. And for most of us in this economy, you make $1,000, you're making $4K a month, you're happy. You can probably pay your bills, you can probably eat okay, you're good. But what's the cost? What'd you actually make out of that $1,000? And that's what I've been challenging more the last couple of months, because just because you make $1,000, did you actually make 700? Did you make 800? Did you make 500? Because if you made 1,000, but you're only bringing home about $400 or $500, you're doing something wrong. You just are. Like, you have to reevaluate your money and how you're spending it, how you're selecting your orders, you know, all that kind of stuff. Maybe this isn't for you. Maybe W-2, we need more W-2. Like, W-2 is okay. There's something wrong with that, right? Being independent and looking at this like a business and looking at it like a P&L, it's not for everybody. Most drivers won't be able to do it and do it for extended a period of time, right? But we have to stop looking at just the first number. There's so many things after that. That's the only number that should matter should be the one at the end. And I just believe that because I've made mistakes in the beginning, right? And I've learned, and I think a lot of us have, and we got to look at that profit. So I'm going to be really, really excited to see other drivers' experiences in the middle of September and then October, the middle of October, because I think it's going to help some people either way. It's going to open some eyes in a good way or a bad way. But I think in a couple of months' time, we're all going to be able to look back at this conversations that we had and new people with different perspectives, and we're going to learn something. So it's a net positive for me, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Your ROI should be advantageous to whatever goal it is that you're going for, right? So my goal is $800 a week. I do $200 a day for 4 days. If I don't make that 800, then I'll probably extend it to 5 days, barely 6 days, because you got to take that time off. But for the first 2 weeks of the month, and then I use those second 2 weeks to either plan for a trip or actually take a trip, or ensure that I allocate that money for the next month. So whenever, 2 or 3 months, I got money for a trip. That's money that's off to the side. That's discretionary funds. That's not funds that's needed for rent. The taxes are already taken care of. Everything is already taken care of. But if your ROI is not advantageous to a goal, then what are you striving for? You have to be motivated to strive for something. It has to be something. You can't you're not Uncle Scrooge. You're not putting it all in the vault. And then when you turn 75 3/4, you go and jump in it because it's going to hurt. Coins hurt when you jump in them. So you have to have an ROI that's advantageous to your life.
I can tell, Driver Sensei, if anybody on this panel right now has jumped in the thing of coins, it would be him. He'd be the only one out of us that would jump in some coin. And he probably
It's the game show.
That shit hurt. I'm telling you, it hurts.
Sensei, that's your next game show. You got to be jumping in quarters instead of push-ups.
Oh, yeah.
I would so watch that. Listen, guys, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna sign out here and just say some final things and be with the chat. But I appreciate you guys spending time with me. If you're out, drive safe. I hope you guys have a good rest of the week coming up. Appreciate you guys' time tonight. Thank you very much.
Later, Pedro.
Thanks, All right, some excitement there. Okay, so I feel we talked about some things, right? We've talked about things we've talked about before that many of you talked about already. That many more are going to continue to talk about. But hey, it's fun to get. I'm learning some things. Okay, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm an old dog. You can teach me some new tricks. Okay, my ears are open. I'm ready to listen. Okay, I'm ready to be a little more understanding of other people and what they got and why they want to make their money. The only caveat I'll say is no tip, no trip is a thing. I still believe in it. I think the people that abide by that will overall make more money. That's my opinion. And we got to start looking at profits. I'm going to start putting community posts up and asking you guys. I have a Discord. You could check that out. I'll share it at some point somewhere. But we got to start looking at the real numbers, because I think a lot of drivers are looking at, I just made $500 this week. What did you make? It's not, you have to look at what you spent, your miles, are you taking care of your automobile, like your time you spent? Because, I know some, the active time versus dash time, that's another like hot topic. I'm not sure why it is for 99% of us. It like, if you're in your car, you're working, right? So when we're looking at, I made $40 this hour. Well, but it said you had the app on for 2 hours, but you took 4 orders when you said you was only active for an hour. You made $20 an hour because you were out for 2 hours, right? So I just think there's a lot of, anybody can manipulate numbers and make them look and make you feel a certain way, and that's great. If you're meeting your goals, I cheers to you. I do. I clap if you're meeting your goals and you're making money. And everybody's profit margins will be different based on what your goals are, your bills, where you're at in your life. Are you retired? Do you have kids? Do you not have kids? Do you do this part-time? Do you do it full-time? Everybody has that, right? For me, I know exactly if I'm making $35 an hour, right? What I'm bringing home out of that 35. And if I make $25 an hour, what am I bringing home out of that 25? What can I take out of that I can use for bills, savings, taxes, fun money, right? I have little pockets, right? And I want us to just start thinking about that a little bit, because at the end of the day, we have to, in my opinion, using these apps is a really great way to make money if you've got as a stepping stone of something else, whether that be buying a house, saving for a house, buying a new car, fixing a car, paying off debt, helping your kids go through school, right? For many of us, it's, hey, I gotta make sure all my bills are paid, and I feel pride in that, right? I want to make sure my kids got food for the fridge, they got back to school supplies, my lights turned on, my gas is on, my electric, I got gas for my car, I pay my cell phone bill, I pay my cable bill, and I was able to go take my girlfriend out for dinner every Friday night. If I can do that, I'm happy. And if you're a dasher that can do that, I cheers to you. It's good. But if you're somebody that is continuing to struggle, you can't make money, you're not sure why, adapt, do something else, get a W-2, right? Because we got to use these as a stepping stone to reach a goal for something else. And I feel like I've done a really good job of that on this channel, showing you guys that for a year and a half every day. Okay, so when I talk about it, I'm living it. Like, you guys see my journey, you see what we've been able to do with this channel, what I've been able to do in my personal life, the things I'm able to do. I don't work weekends. I don't work at night. I go on trips here and there. And that's because I've figured my market out. I have a plan. I bet on myself. I set goals. I do it. It's very cliche. I know it's boring to a lot of you guys, but I'm living that every single day. And this is just the beginning. We're going to continue to do things. I got a lot of awesome things on the slate for you guys. And I appreciate you guys giving me time and letting me rant and ramble. But I will say, I don't know the algorithm. I don't think anybody does. And I feel like I have a decent amount of control in my life and when I work the apps. But I know everybody's experience is going to be very different. So you got to do you, make the good decisions for yourself, all that good stuff. So let's just go ahead and stick around. I want to be in the chat just for a little bit with you guys and see if you guys got questions and just vibe with you guys for a minute. What up, Lebowski, Dashing Grandpa, by AMC. Most drivers have no clue what their cost per mile is. I think there's some truth. There's some truth there. And I think we got to remember, a lot of us that are part of like a YouTube community, a Reddit, a Facebook, a Discord, you're probably knowledgeable because you're intertwined with other people doing that type of work, and you're asking questions and you're getting advice and you're sharing what you've learned. So a lot of us do, but I think most drivers that do this work don't watch YouTube, right? So they might not know what they might be missing out on, or whether it's being a top dasher because it works for you or not being one, right? Okay, let's see. What's up, Yost? Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Appreciate everybody coming in. We had you know what I liked about tonight is we had a good mix of different opinions, different markets. And I think that's good, right? I leave these StreamYards for anybody to come in, right? I pinned a comment. Anybody can come in here. And I think we had some good people that came in tonight. So I really appreciate that. You guys make the show. And we had some good comments. I wasn't even able to read as many as I would have liked. So let's just sit here, see what we got here. What up, my man? Okay, let me show you guys. So this channel right here, Uber Jeep AZ, go check them out. I used to own a mechanic shop. My YouTube channel shows me doing all my own vehicle maintenance. Listen, go check out Uber Jeep AZ. He is the king right now of his market and doing rideshare. It's awesome. Go check him out. Sensei, let's see. What up, Random Ryan? What up, Stable, Rico Dash, Music City, Gig Hustle. What up, what up, what up? Driven Mom in the house. You working tonight, Driven Mom? Newport Beach Dasher, what up? Let's see. She says, okay, I'll pass on the Crown 12 years sober, but I'll try the 90-day fiance. Congratulations on being 12 years sober. Let's see. 90-day fiance. My Madison watches that show. The TV show she watches, man, they're hilarious. They're supposed to be real, but they're not, and they're so scripted. In my opinion, they're very scripted. I don't know about y'all, but thank you, Tony, for putting in the pin for Uber Jeep AZ. Love it, love it, love it. Awesome channel. Let's see. Anyone think every dasher I meet, I direct them to the... Hey, I appreciate that, Justin. We try, man. I'm not always right. I don't always make the best decisions. I don't always, but I give a lot of effort here, and I really try to have you guys try to think about you guys when I'm making videos and give you some entertainment or some knowledge or how to do this. Driver Sensei, appreciate that, man. Thank you. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate the love. Great discussion tonight. Glad to see everyone contributing, and thanks a lot for having us up for the conversation. Yeah, let's keep traveling and being in those worlds. Yeah, dude, I saw the skydive short that you did, or the video. Oh, it's awesome, man. I got to say, when I was watching it, I was a little like, wow, I got to do more. I got to get out there more. Like, it was awesome, man. I've gone scuba diving, parasailing, but never skydiving. I would do it though. It looks so cool. I want you guys to go check out the Driver Sensei's video. It was just, I just saw it like recently, but I don't know if that was I feel like it was a recent video, because sometimes when things get to your YouTube next or whatever, it could be a video from like a year ago, but it was awesome. Awesome video, man. Bro, love it. I'm down 100%. Okay, let's see. But Soda's still in the house. What up? Tracy McGrady. Tracy McGrady should have been NBA. Yes, that is a 100% fact, Stable. Stable always coming in with the basketball talk. I love it. Let's see. Hold up. I'm trying to read these comments. This couple is good too. Hold on. Who's Tony got here? Music City. I know Music City Gig Culture from the chat and stuff, so I'll check that out. Thank you for dropping that. Yeah, get the likes up, y'all. Thank you, Yos. Appreciate that. How many likes we got, y'all? I like to get to 200. I don't know why. It's like a good number. Usually we achieve 200 likes on the live, so hopefully we're close. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Oh, live order. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. Let me see. I don't know. I ordered. Let me see. It wouldn't be a good business decision because I ordered pizza. And me and Madison went out last night for a dinner, and we saw the movie Nope. Yeah, we saw Nope. And yeah, so spent some money last night, and then we ordered a pizza and some boneless wings today. We were watching the first Black Panther, getting ready for the second one coming out because she hadn't seen it and I had. And so I've already spent. I've blown my food budget. 2 years sober. Nice, TN. I know that's not easy. Smacking ass. Driver Sensei, we got 160. Thank you. Can we get 40 more thumbs up? What up? What up? Gig Lebowski says Music City is a great channel. Thank you. I'm gonna check that out. I feel like maybe I knew, but maybe I, I'll check that out tonight. Give that a little sub action there. Yes, Raider Casper TN. Thanks. Congrats. You ready for Bears Packers? Oh yeah, I know, right? I hate the Packers. I hate Aaron Rodgers. But the Bears, we'll see. I'm hopeful for Justin Fields and Montgomery if he can stay healthy. And we got to figure it out. But I think since Aaron Rodgers in the last 15 years, I think the Bears have beaten the Packers 3 or 4 times. It's kind of embarrassing. It's rough. So Riley says Nope was hilarious. So I saw it. And it wasn't as bad as I had been led to believe, in my opinion. It kept me at least a little engaged. A lot's going on in that movie, a lot of subliminal messaging, I think, a lot of things that can be taken for context. It was okay, a little weird, but nothing wrong with that. It's a monster movie, a horror movie, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, on the podcast I do with Hannibal, the Pedro and Hannibal podcast that comes out on Mondays, we're going to talk about it. Because he saw it, and then I just saw it. He wants to get my perspective. So it was different. It's the least favorite of the movies that Jordan Peele has done, in my opinion. I think this is his 4th one. It's my least favorite out of those, but it wasn't horrible. Some people say it's ridiculous. I didn't think it was. I thought it was okay. It was okay. Okay, so should I order? I'm not going to do a live order tonight. I'm sorry. I will do one next week. Not going to do one tonight, only because we already ordered food. I just can't be that guy that's got 2 delivery people coming to my house in a matter of 5-hour time span. I just can't do it. So, but I'll hang out with you guys for a little bit if you want to talk. If you guys got some questions, we can put them in the chat. If you want to talk about control, do you think that we have no control? Do you think that as drivers, we're just whatever market we're in, we're going to pay based on whatever they say we're going to get, and they pause you, and we have, what do you guys think about that? Or we can talk about something else. Instacart live order. Ooh, I've never ordered an Instacart. I've looked it up on my app to see what it was like on a customer end, the process, but I never actually finalized an order. So that could be something. I guess I can get Instacart in my area probably for Walgreens, CVS, maybe 7-Eleven. But let's see. Question. Is owning 2 cars for gigs better than 1? Oh, Uber Jeep AZ. Good question. I think if you're somebody that is financially sound and, you own these automobiles, I think it makes sense if you have more of a beater. I also think it depends, are you full-time, part-time? But I think for some people, having 2 cars can make good sense. It depends on what kind of car is your main car. Is it a car you don't want to have a lot of miles on because it's a really nice automobile? Why are you Hannibal doing the beard? Oh, the beard bet, Nova? I don't know. Me and him still have to discuss that. Mustard or ketchup? Yost, you already know, bro. I don't put ketchup on hot dogs. Only mustard, sir. Okay. If one vehicle is dedicated for work, 100% of miles are tax deductible. Interesting. Okay. Is Doordash the best app to use? What is this? Spark. So Spark is an app that is teamed up with Walmart. It's a pretty popular app right now. In my opinion, in most markets, Doordash is going to be the app that's going to go off the most because there's just so much market share. I recommend trying Spark, Doordash, and Uber Eats if you can get on it, and Instacart, and working those for the next couple of months and see which one's best in your market. That's my recommendation. Appreciate that, John. I try to help. I feel like I know I help a lot of people, so I appreciate you saying that. 90% of miles. 90% of my miles are deducted. I work 80 hours a week. Woo. See, I can't work 80 hours a week. Not doing food delivery. I definitely have other things, but I just can't. I don't know. I just can't do it. I salute drivers out there that are pushing it like that. It takes definitely a lot of dedication to be in your car that much. Let's see. All right. Mindfully watching. I had my best week on Spark this week. My husband broke his back on Monday, so we are very thankful for my gig work. Ooh, I hope he's getting better, and I'm glad you had a good week. That's awesome. You know, it's nothing like having a really good day or a good week as a gig driver, because when you have those good weeks, it feels good. When you meet your monetary goals, you had a good week, you didn't have to drive crazy, the customers were good, and like you met your goal and you're able to do what you got to do with that money. It's a good feeling. It's a lot of pride in that. Sergio calling you out. Oh, is he? How? I like Sergio. Is he here? Is Sergio in the building? Hold on, did I see him? Did I miss him? I don't know. Sergio's a friend of the family, so he's good. Uber 2 Clay Club. Okay. Gig work is key to success. Everyone should have business cards with your Cash App or QR code. You know, I've never done that. I've had, when I was doing Rideshare, I've done it recently again, but even like last year, some passengers would ask me if I had. Let me take this off. Some passengers would ask me if I had a Cash App, and they would tip me on there. And I think I've gotten 2 tips from customers on that, but I definitely haven't had the business cards. I used some business cards for the YouTube channel when I first started, but not for the gig economy. What is your average take home at 80 hours? Okay, that's a question for Newport. Oh, let me read this one. He says he's at $3.2 a mile, and yeah. So I was on. I think you were there. I was on his show. So he's doing. Oh, there he is, right there. Hold up. Got to change my screen name to Sergio from Serge. Oh, I knew that was you. As soon as I saw it, I remember it. So Sergio, he's out in West Coast, Cali, right? Los Angeles, California. He's doing more food delivery and he's loving it, right? And I've been doing more rideshare, right? So for me, my mileage right now, my miles to money is a little lower than if I did food delivery. And my mileage is about the same though. Okay. It might be like 10 miles more a day, which is not that significant to me. 10 miles to me, that's like $2, right? So not a lot. You know, so you're looking at what? $10 a week, right? But I'm getting to my goal quicker. So I'm spending less time in my car. I'm working less hours. So I'm able to do more and make money in other ways. Whether that's, you know, like hop on a live with somebody, do a video, because I make money on YouTube, connect with other people. I got a lot of things going on in the background, check out my vending machine, spend more time with my kid, take my girlfriend out last night, right? I didn't work Friday night, didn't work Saturday, didn't work today. So for me, I value time more than money. So if I can actually still meet my goal, but get home even just like 30 minutes early each day, I'm winning, you know? So, and I'm finding a good flow and a good mix of what apps to use and what time to start, so I can not be in my car that much. I just don't want to be. I just was in my car like 25, 26 hours this week, and I made good money. Postmates, yeah, Postmates was crow. I didn't like Postmates. La 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 la. Lies. Who's lying? Who, me? Do you want me to prove that I can show you. Pedro, have you noticed getting better Instacart orders since you hit Platinum? No, I actually, Josh, when I got that email, I didn't even turn Instacart on because I was doing my Uber stuff, and that's what my mind was in Uber. But I'm going to turn it on tomorrow, and I'm going to keep it on and kind of in the background. And if I see something good, I'll take it. I don't pass up good orders because I could just turn off Uber and turn it right back on. I could turn off DoorDash, turn it right back on. So we'll see. And if I think something's interesting, if I see something crazy better, I'll report on it. But I don't think it would be, but I'll give it a shot. I'll see. Doesn't have to be gig work. No tips. No, GameStop orders are all base pay. I've done one of them. It paid me $10. I think it was for like 6 miles or something. I tested it. It was fine, but I don't think there's not even an option for them to do that. And it makes sense that there isn't, kind of. So I just don't take them because most of the miles are too much for most of the time. All right, here we go. So driver Sensei says my average miles to cost rate is 4.687142 a mile. He's got it down to the 10th degree there. Dreamer Dad, 100% acceptance rate for my company, Tesla Limo. One trip today, 140. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. So Ryan says Platinum doesn't really change offers. That's the next and final level. Should be based on proximity as well. It should. Who knows? I don't know the algorithm, guys. It's a mix of luck, proximity, where you're at. I don't know. I think these companies laugh at us sometimes because they can change stuff all the time. We've seen it with Para and these other apps that have done things, and then DoorDash changes code. They're changing the metrics to Top Dasher. They're pilot testing so many things. They pilot tested things with the red card shopping orders, and if you got 50% acceptance on your shopping page, you'll see better orders. And I don't know. Make your money. Try to stay away from really bad paying orders if you can, right? And see what works in your market, and then do that. And then if you think you can do more, continue to adapt. Squeeze as much juice out of that lemon as you can, because the more juice you squeeze out the lemon, the more profit you're going to hit for your pocketbooks and your bank account, your savings account, and your kids' accounts, your grandma's accounts, whoever, right? So if you're making 20, 25 bucks an hour and you're happy with that, I'm great. I'm happy for you. I clap. But you might be able to make 30 just by tweaking a few things here and there. And only you can set that for yourself, right? Because each market's different. That's what I'm going to go down with saying. Each market's different. Nobody knows everything about the algorithm. Nobody cracked the code. And no tip, no trip is a thing with DoorDash and Uber. Spark, other apps, the customers, the way they order, how they order, it's a little bit different. But we're talking DoorDash and Uber mostly, right? Thanks, Jody, for some send. Tums, thank you very much. I did have a slice of pizza, actually 3 slices of pizza tonight, so I'll use. I might need some Tums later. Appreciate that. Okay. Man, have we been 3 hours? We're almost at 3 hours. That was a pretty fast 3 hours. So I guess I'll leave you guys with this. Appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a good week coming up. Hit your goals. I hope you guys hit your goals, right? And if you're up right now and you have a little bit of time, and obviously the week's over, for some of us, maybe you're still driving, you're going to get home in the morning, right? What'd you make this week? How much you spend in gas? Did you have any other expenses? How much are you putting away for taxes if you're doing that? How much are you putting away for savings if you're doing that? How much do you have in your actual account coming to you for real on Tuesday or Wednesday? You should know that number. If you don't, do it tonight, do it tomorrow before you start your week. And then take that number, write it down somewhere. Put it in your memo pad in your phone. And then do next week. Okay. At the end of next week, how much did you make? How many miles did you drive? How much gas did you spend? Because that could change week to week. Your miles and your gas for most of us isn't going to be exact every single week. It just won't. It's going to fluctuate. It's going to range. Some weeks you might drive 200 miles, 500 miles, 800 miles. And how much did you make next week? Compare those numbers. Did you do anything different? Is it the same? It's probably going to be pretty close if you work the same amount of hours. And try to figure out how to work a little bit less each day while still hitting your goal. Being selective, taking good orders, learning your market, learning when to unassign and drop one, learning when to start. Maybe breakfast is good for you. Maybe you've been starting at 10 a.m. and you're like, man, it's so slow. Well, in some markets it might be because breakfast is over, lunch hasn't hit. Maybe you need to start at 10:30. And then instead of stopping at 3:30, you stop at 4. Extend yourself half hour swings because you might be able to maximize your market better that way. Adapt when you can, make your money, learn your market, right? Use YouTube as a way of entertainment, getting some value, some relatability, asking questions if you're new. We do have the first ever virtual gig conference, October 22nd, hosted by myself, Hannibal's Hungry, Steve Rideshare Rodeo, and I have a few special guests. We're going to have segments. It's going to be about a 5.5 hour live. We'll have segments ranging with different topics with special guest features coming in. I'll have companies coming in you can ask questions to. We'll have a little bit of financial talk. We're going to have a segment for new drivers, tips and tricks for new drivers in the gig economy. I'll do that segment myself. I'll go out and do a live delivery along with Steve from Rideshare Rodeo, and we'll do a live delivery and do that with you guys in real time. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a place you're going to get value. You'll get to have some answers, some questions answered, and it'll all be virtual. You also will have an option to possibly come into the show via the live stream link. It's going to be an experience like you've never seen before. October 22nd, it's a Saturday. Always trying to give you guys new and exciting content, pushing the label and pushing the needle on what we can do here on this channel. Also, that day we'll have a huge announcement for you guys on something that I've been working on with a partner of mine. Okay. And something that we're going to have in the near future for you guys. When I said in the last few months, this channel is just the beginning. We've only scratched the surface of what this is. This is not just a gig channel. There's more things to come. Okay. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching, giving me any amount of your time. Still over 200 people here. You guys are amazing. Consider hitting the thumbs up if you got any kind of value or information in tonight's channel, right? And I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what kind of video I'm going to make. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to work the apps a little bit tomorrow. We'll turn the camera on. We'll see what we get. You guys are absolutely amazing. See you tomorrow.